Okay, how can
on
I get a play?
Ustream. I almost forgot to unmute it, so people on the Ustream didn't hear none of that.
We were doing an old school silent
video.
video.
None of that.
Yeah, y'all didn't even. The radio people, you got preview. You got, finally, the radio folks got backstage passes. Backstage passes, but without further ado, I'm your girl, the princess of all.
Cujo speaks.
And I am Shay Bodo.
And we are here on the Good Tymez Show.
Full family in the building today.
Okay, everybody in the house.
It is 12 minutes after the hour, 4:12 on the west, 4:12 on the east.
There we go.
1:12 on the west.
And 3:12 siesta.
Because Cujo knows this.
He sure does. Nah.
Shouldn't she just come back here instead of like do her own? Like, I don't know why she just wants to be so different than
Oh my gosh, I have my own show, and then after I'm done, make me sit on your own show. Put it as part of my contract.
So it'll be like, here's what we'll do. So it'll be like her interning phase where she has to do 2 a days.
6 jobs. Yep.
You got to do 2 a days until your show is concrete and you guys.
I don't mind.
So this will be like your on the job training as we're helping you fly from the nest.
Do I have to sit here next to Cujo every time?
Every single. That's part of the problem.
This is torture.
Exactly.
That is the problem.
It's the hardest part. You'll never have a harder job on radio than sitting next to me. So everything else should be easy.
Preach. Should be easy. Finally saying the truth.
I don't know if he's tuned in right now. If he's not, or if he is, I hope he goes back to see this. But Tyler Belts from Ty's Takes
Ty
is like one of the, I'm gonna say, like, even I'm gonna put him over me. Like, he's the hardest working person on this network. Like,
go ham.
We literally started a conversation at 3:15 p.m. EST time. It's only a couple of hours later, and he already has a post drafted up with a flyer to post about what we're talking about.
Wow.
And it's actually been less than an hour.
I think Prince is kind of shading us. You feel a little bit shady?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No?
Tyler do way more like me. I mean, even me, I'll be in my editing app. Like, man, I should really edit something for today. And I look over, Tyler sent me 3 posts about the same thing I was about to. I'm like, well, I'm not
there you go. Thank you,
Tyler. I don't
do
do that anymore.
He works very hard.
We are very fortunate to have that.
Yes, we are very fortunate.
Thank you, Tyler.
I do want to go ahead and announce what he's going to post, but I'm reading it so that I can.
We don't even know.
So I can confirm it.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't be reading this on air to confirm it.
Wow,
Y'all get the background. Hold on. Let me read it in my head first before I say this, because if a word is messed up, I don't want it to be like I can't read.
Okay, I'll translate what's going
on. All right.
Yeah. I'm doing sign language. And I'm doing sign language too. Can y'all hear me?
Nope, he gotta edit that part.
A long post.
He gotta edit that part.
We just gave him all that credit and he messed it up.
No, it's just because we just changed some things.
Is that her? So you can give us the gist with the edit.
She's reading really big words.
You can edit on the fly.
Okay, so I could edit it on the
fly.
Come
on. That's what we do.
I'm not gonna edit it. I'm gonna let him be the
editor
person to
the dropper of
say it. The dropper of the news. The dropper. That just
makes
me think of the news. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
That was my favorite. Whoever did that sound effect in that movie, I look up who the sound engineer was in that movie. That was priceless.
It's that one classic moment that sticks with you forever.
That really does.
Yeah, you'd be like sitting in the bathroom thinking about.
For real. You can never recreate. I'd be trying to recreate the sound in real life. Doesn't work.
But at least you tried. Isn't that what they
it's
tell
not
you
the only
nowadays?
thing I've ever failed in my life. So.
Oh, tell us more. No, it's not Therapy Thursday.
One test in middle school.
Did you go to band camp?
In school.
Oh, you have to think about it?
No, I didn't.
I know you were a nerd, but like how much of a nerd?
That's why I had to think about it.
How much of a nerd? Band,
choir? I was in choir. No, actually,
nerd.
Wait. I don't. Was it freshman year? I think I was in choir freshman year. Or was it 8th grade? One of the years I ended up dropping out of choir.
Wow.
I didn't mind like being friends with everybody and all of that, but I felt like at a certain point it wasn't cool enough.
Wasn't cool,
which was wrong.
But you were
it was
a
very
nerd.
wrong of me to do. But I was also a jock. I was a homecoming king in my class.
Stop it.
Yes, ma'am.
So they all voted for you because they felt bad?
Pretty much.
Okay. Vote for my friend.
Either way.
Vote for my friend Cujo.
As the prophet Vin Diesel said, doesn't matter if you win by an
Wait,
inch.
rewind. Did you say the prophet?
By the honorable prophet Vin Diesel.
Doesn't
matter if you win by an inch or by a mile. You know
that you won is the only thing.
All right, it was too much for me to tell him to change. I just told him to send it to me so I can just make the changes. You see how I always put something on myself? Like I know
it's that type one. It's that type A personality.
That's why I told you should have just changed.
Yeah, type A usually they.
I need him to change it before he even posts it. So instead of me telling you all these changes to make, just send me the text and I'm gonna change it.
But can you tell us what it is?
Yeah, I was saying, if you read it,
tell us.
What is it?
But he still wouldn't know what it is. Okay, so for the month of November, we all gotta. It's a battle of the shows.
Dun dun dun.
So, it's a battle of the shows for real. So for the month of November, each show will be competing to see who they can get to go onto the app on the UChat and create profiles. So by entering your information and creating a profile, each person who goes to post, their names will be initiated into a raffle. And at the end of the month, that person will win a $25 gift card. Ooh. And then for the radio personality, whose ever show has the most hashtags on the app will also win a gift card. So it's the battle of the show.
So I'm over here on this gang then.
Right? No, you're on your show.
Well, I ain't even started yet. So you don't. So you want me as a competition?
You said what month?
Say less.
For the month of November.
Yeah. So you got a week to get your show running.
So you want me as a competition?
You know what's going to be hard is because some shows have multiple people, but I mean it doesn't matter.
That's why it wouldn't be fair for us to have three. For us to be the most seasoned and have.
Who said this was fair? This is the Olympics.
Trying to make
you gonna win.
No, it's not going to be fair, but it's still just something to give back to everybody. Shay can be included on our show.
No, I don't want to now.
But your show. But no, that would be fair because your show is new, so no one would even know the name.
No one even listens to my show yet.
Right. No shade, but
hashtag no name show.
Hashtag what's your name?
Wait a minute, that you ain't got no name. What's your name? Be a joke. No name show or
no name.
What's the name of the show?
Anonymous.
Thanks for tuning in to What's the Name of the Show?
What show is?
What show is
this? What show is this anyway?
What show is
Isn't that a show?
Yeah, it's called Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh, Whose Line? That's what
whose show is it? You
know what I'm saying?
Because it ain't mine.
Wow.
Just giving away free ideas. Stop it.
Watch tomorrow. There'll be a whole bunch of shows with the same names on there.
Please don't steal our names. But
just bit me.
Not in here. We got bed bugs. Because he said something bit him.
But then again, I got nerve issues, so I always.
I was say something probably was twitching in his.
Did you bring something from home? Did you bring something? Courtney? Did he bring something? The friends from the house?
We ain't got no friends. Not even animals like
not
us.
even creatures. And
they don't even like.
You don't even have a cat. We have no kids. You got a dog? What kind of dog? You never posted.
His name's Brixton.
Brixton.
You know the hats I always wear?
Oh, wow.
I named him after a clothing company.
Okay.
He is a bull mastiff King Corso.
Why you never post him? You don't love it?
I do. He ain't got a Facebook or Instagram.
He doesn't?
I can't tag
Why
him.
not?
Was
you don't even love him.
Yes. It's just like posting. You're like, I just think it's so hilarious.
All those people make pages for their pets.
It's so ridiculous.
My friend has
people
one.
that post like they're like 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, baby girl. I love you so much. I'm like, okay, she can't.
And people be like, happy birthday. Tell her I said happy birthday. She's 3.
She don't know you, dog.
She don't know you. She's slobbering over there in the corner.
I only typically post those when like my kid has an Instagram, so I'll post and tag them in it so they can see.
Oh,
that,
yes.
You know, so they know I'm saying happy birthday.
Right. Because you don't say it to them in real life.
No.
I sent it to you on Instagram.
Yeah,
what more do you want?
Wow. Say it to them. I don't care if you say it to them in person. You got to show your love publicly.
Is that what it is? Is that why everybody breaks up with me? Because I won't show them publicly? No face, no case.
Have you ever had that instant that Are we going to be a Facebook official yet?
No, I never want to because my family doesn't allow us to date. Why would I want to put that on the gram?
I hate it when that became a thing in our generation where if it wasn't Facebook official,
then it's not real.
Yeah.
It still does, but yeah. Because I don't want to. Because I don't even know if I want to be with this person in 2 minutes. I don't. Why would I want to post them?
Uterus, but I need to post them on my.
Ew.
Ew, wow. You don't even have a uterus.
I don't even know what the topic was. I just heard.
Did you just zone us out?
I was.
Wow.
I heard everything you guys were saying now. Why he don't post his slobbery dog?
Why do you think I just
why
said
don't you
uterus?
post your people?
Snap you out.
No, listen. Literally, I heard every single conversation, but I was doing something else. I don't know. Maybe it's mom.
How are you distracted?
Because I'm reading something. But I want to ask you a question.
You know they can see you on that camera. What you doing on the phone?
Oh, yeah, I want to see a big booty.
Oh, yes, I do.
It's,
my bad.
It's literally to.
I love that song.
If you saw a post, would you rather see how much the gift card is for, or just be surprised at how much?
Because if it's not enough, you mean for somebody like when I get engaged?
No, but it's just the like for you posting. Like,
post it. Yeah, post that amount.
Okay,
post that amount because that'll
entice people.
Yeah. Because when you say you win, what do you really win? Oh my God, they can win an hour with me. I think that would be great.
Are you smoking them out?
Yes. No, are you kidding? How am I going to spend a whole hour without smoking?
Hashtagging a word.
Yes, it is.
I think so. I will look it up on my computer, but it's still not open yet. So
what is my? Oh my God!
It's still loading from when you got
computer that he got from the 1998.
From the 1998.
From the 1998.
Just push the button in factory reset
it's thick on the bottom. It's like 3 inches thick.
Buttons. I got big booty buttons.
Hey, big booty. Where the big booty say? I can tell.
Hey. Now it's gonna explode.
Ma'am, did you reset your computer?
See, she know how to work on this HP Android junk.
Oh yeah, you're right. And then she over here got her nerve to have a Mac computer.
Because I have an iPhone now.
We can burn.
She does. Yes, good job.
Blue bubble fruit.
Yeah.
Yes,
no more green bubbles. No more green bubbles.
I told you this thing ain't normal.
Is it broken?
No.
Oh, there we go. Third time was a charm.
But usually it'll take you 17 times.
Sir, did you restart your computer?
All right, hold on. Okay, I'm reading something on air because I want people to let me know if this is what we do, y'all. Y'all know we have production meetings all the time.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so how does this sound? Be sure. And does this like really give full detail of like what to do? Because y'all know people. We're making posts for dummies.
I'm gonna look for the loophole.
Be sure to download our free mobile app in your app store by searching 9397 Network. Tap on the UChat icon. Is that too much? UChat icon?
Well, no, because they have to click on that more icon.
I'm gonna say tap on more.
Yep.
Tap
and then you go to the UChat.
And then use the ring finger on your left hand to hit the.
Tap on more for
why the ring finger?
UChat icon. Really? Create a profile and make a post hashtagging your favorite show to enter. To enter a
raffle.
To enter a raffle.
Yes.
To win $5.
I was gonna say $5,000.
All right, so be sure to download our free mobile app in your app store by searching 9397 Network. Tap on more for the UChat icon. Create a profile and make a post hashtagging your favorite show to enter a raffle to win a $25 gift card. The contest winner will be announced on November 30th.
So we got a month and 4 days.
Booyah! Should we do hashtags or should we do like a voting poll?
I don't know. I'm about to make about 100 emails right now and just go on there and keep making profiles.
We're going to have to go through all the comments and count the hashtags. Is there an easier way to amass that data? What is it?
No, actually, I'm going to keep a hashtag.
Yeah.
Because if we do a poll, people don't have to create
posts.
Yeah, they don't have to be engaging with us. They'll just be clicking on.
Plus, the show could cheat because then they could go on there and be clicking themselves.
I'm about to make 100 emails. I'm about to have all my cousins overseas download it.
You on our show, right?
No, you said you wanted me against you. So all my family in Europe, all the family in the Middle East, Canada, Brazil, everybody about to be downloading this ad. and hashtagging me. No name show.
Just hashtag Shea Butter.
I really like that idea.
No name show. You know what I mean? I
No
think it's
name
sweet
show.
too. Like, why do I need a name for the show?
I
It's
always
me.
get this wrong.
What? That's what he said.
Man.
Did you just disrespectfully
No.
throw the charger on the floor like that?
It jumped.
It suicided? What'd you do to it? My charger just killed this stuff because it doesn't want you to touch. Pull out game.
Finally. Just kidding.
Oh, tell me why. So,
Oh, no.
There was a comment. I seen a video of this dude in the car, and he was like, had his hands over his face, and there was a song playing. The chick was smiling, and the caption was, "Gave him a kiss before he went in the store. And now he has to wait a minute because he got stiffy."
He got stiff off a kiss?
Right.
What kind of kiss? Sheesh.
Oh, like look at me. I'm like, ooh.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm up.
Hey. So I said something to the effect of me and my wife don't even look at each other anymore. We had 8 kids, and somebody was like, "Now I understand why the world's overpopulated." I
ain't never wanted to say
can't
it.
really be mad. Aoife and Juice in Uber.
I love when y'all
Hi,
have kids.
Aoife Juice. Hi, Aoife Juice.
She was probably wondering where you were. Like, why she ain't answering my phone?
No, she got my location.
Oh.
She checks my location more than anything. She'd be like, "Why you at 123 Sesame Street? Who you with?"
Me and Big Bird was just smoking.
Yeah, that's how she be. Me and Big Bird.
Actually.
Big Bird freaked me out
Why?
because he just big and goofy and just
What you trying
I
to
feel
say
like
about
he-
me? What
I
you
was
trying to
gonna
say
say,
about me?
Wait, hold on. Why?
I'm
Come
pretty
on
big and
now.
goofy,
I'm
man.
big and
Big
goofy.
Bird was just scary. I mean, I was never really a Sesame Street person.
Can
Elmo
you
was a
tell
creep.
me how to get
To
Okay,
Sesame
Can I tell y'all the
Street.
truth though?
What?
I've never seen Sesame Street in English.
They
That's
had
why it's
Sesame
weird.
Street and
Yep,
What language was it in?
Arabic.
He
So they taught
probably
you like the
sounded
Arabic
mad.
alphabet and
He probably
everything.
sounded mad like it wasn't like the deep,
Okay.
Like,
What did the
scary-
Sesame Street theme song say in everything?
Hey,
I
well, I
gotta
was
hear
thinking
this.
what
Do
you
you
were
I
remember?
saying.
remember. I feel like I want to pull it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I want to hear
How we
how
get
Big
to
Bird
Sesame Street?
I'm not
How would you say that in
You
Arabic?
know you can.
كيف نروح على Sesame Street? Something like that. Hold on, I gotta pull it up because
Did
Hold on,
you
hold
say
on.
Keith?
Did
Yeah.
you say? Did you
Keith
That's
say?
means how.
Did you say Sesame Street? Like Sesame Street? Like,
Oh no, it would be
So if I
called
said
Sim. That's what it was
Smoking
called.
on
Okay.
Cow, you're like, that's. I'm like, what are you talking about? Smoking
You know,
on
I can't
Cow.
think Arabic, English back and forth like that. Dang, I'll train my brain one way. If y'all over here got me like this,
Speed it.
I'm about to find you the
up.
Arabic Sesame Street
Yes, please.
song. I'm telling you, y'all gonna be like, really?
Uh,
This why? Okay. Oh my God, I remember it now that I see the name. It was okay. This is how the song goes. All right, don't look at me. I'm not be serious. All right. It was like, افتح يا سمسم أبوابك إحنا الأطفال. That means open the door, Sesame. We're the kids. That's oh my God, that brought me back to my childhood.
That's what brought her back.
That's
Open,
drama.
open the door, Sesame.
Sesame,
Where
we're
are the kids?
the kids.
That sounds like
Like a
some
pedophile. Oh no!
Oh,
Because the
man.
words don't translate properly from
No,
English
they
to
don't.
Arabic.
Yeah, I can
Try
see.
imagine Power Rangers in Arabic. They were doing like a cheap production, so they were like, psh, psh, pow, ow, psh, psh,
I want to
psh.
see.
There's like no dialect. There's just like
I want to see all of that.
it's traumatizing. Even Lion King, I just watched it in English for the first time when it came out a couple years ago. I've only seen it in Arabic, and it ruined my childhood watching it in English. It was
Why?
stupid. Because
What
it was,
do you
man, it was
mean?
so depressing in English. In Arabic, it was
It
so
was
funny.
all fun. Like,
It was made in an Egyptian
they were
dialect.
they were tickling them when the herd was running over. It was really just a tickle fest.
Literally. Okay. Here's how I explain it to people. Imagine watching Lion King made by Black people
Yeah,
from the hood
yeah.
versus watching Lion King made by the people
Well,
that
that's
made Lion
probably
King.
the problem, Shay. You told me that you brought a lot of new movies out of people's trunks.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Lion
from the
King
crackhead.
is probably
I seen that one at the
a different dialect anyways.
That's
so
the
that
movies you
have
got.
them.
So on every
With the
base,
porno.
when you deploy, there's dudes that come from that country and they got boatloads
Yeah.
of movies, and it's all like the bootleg.
Yes, bootleg.
So you can get the current movie, but it's super.
Don't buy
bootleg.
movies from a crackhead. I learned that a couple years ago.
I mean, but you're getting like 5 movies for $1.
For $1. Oh, I had a whole
you're
thing.
In the desert, so
I had a whole thing of things, the CDs where you just flip back and forth, like. And the only back home when I was growing up, the only videotape that we had in the house was Michael Jackson's concert. Okay, it had it had Smooth Criminal, it had Thriller. It was a whole bunch of concerts from him all over the world. So like they show you in the concert, like when Michael Jackson got on stage, people were passing out. Yeah. So like that's all we were seeing is like him and.
So, but was this made off of like somebody's cell phone from the crowd?
Probably it was bootleg. It was not the original thing.
A bunch of clips of people.
Yeah, you watching Smooth Criminal. We didn't even know what he was saying. We're like.
Now were they?
You so your whole life you just grew up knowing the beats to Michael Jackson. You don't know none of the songs. You're like, that's my jam.
Right. I love this. I'm not lying. I'm so serious.
Were they singing Michael?
She thought Michael had only instrumentals.
Yeah,
right. He used to gotta dance to the night to the good beats. He used to dance backwards.
I'm like, who is this singing? They're messing up the song.
When I heard the words,
bootleg version of Michael Jackson.
Who is this dude on the track?
This is
Michael
an imposter.
Oh my goodness! I want to hear like the Arabic versions of all Michael's hits.
Oh, I don't think they don't translate music. That's the only thing they don't translate.
We gotta get Rap God on here to sing some Adele.
Yeah.
We were on IG Live the other night. He was singing Adele, and it was hilarious.
Ooh, he's a singer.
Can he really sing or like?
Yeah.
Oh, then he should do the lip sync. He should do the lip sync battle.
Yeah, Rap God.
Y'all should let me sing on the show.
Let you sing on whose show?
Only if you sing in Arabic.
Okay. I'll sing in Arabic. That's fine.
I'm down too.
But people might think we're about to blow the station up. That's the only thing.
It's all right.
Yeah,
it's all right.
Allow this device to access.
Oh wow.
What happened?
My computer's finally turning on. He said cold blood.
He finally turned it on.
See, no, bro, he was good. He was real good.
Finally, we hear. Finally,
I had to pull out first.
Yeah.
Once I pulled out,
took him a minute to find the spot.
Always does.
Yeah. Oh,
y'all.
Sorry,
I was so focused today.
We're over here unsupervised because she's over there.
There's so much. Like, I don't know what it is. I do radio
Why
at
do you
the
think I asked you to
time, and like all of a sudden, everybody's like hitting me with all of this stuff. I want so that's just so much.
Why don't you just block them? That's what I do.
Why don't you put your on the room?
No way he's just saying.
So we was on. Oh man, if you go on IG Live at night on these people's pages that I go on, so Kid Vicious goes on every night or whatever. It's usually a verse for verse battle type thing, and I've met a ton of people do it. I talk about it all the time now. Where the other night, for some odd reason, nobody wanted to rap on this platform, so for some reason, Rap God decided we should start singing. So like people started.
Oh my God!
He started singing Adele, and then somebody swayed or somebody started singing something else. And then Ronnie came on, and she actually could sing, so she was singing. And then
she'll get on her show out.
Kid Vicious, the only thing he'll do is I'd sing song, y'all. It's all he would say. It was hilarious. I got on there and sang something.
Random people live.
I got on there and sang something.
What'd you sing? You sang a country song. I swear to
God,
you start singing that racist stuff. I'm leaving.
I sang Lean on Me. Hey, Aoife.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
swear to God, you start singing country. I'm out.
You didn't know I can actually sing.
I see one of your little videos from back in the day that you
singing though.
Yeah, you showed me way back in the day when you used to do gigs and stuff.
When I was
before you started prostituting.
No,
went to the military.
I was prostituting when I was doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the same time.
Allegedly.
Oh, okay.
No, I was out there.
It's illegal.
But the statute of limitations.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's been over 50 years.
Yeah, I was throwing ass.
Oh, I was throwing ass.
Like Brett Favre.
Oh,
$77 million worth of ass.
Listen,
we're about to get kicked off the air.
Y'all probably saw my Facebook post. If y'all haven't seen my Facebook post, please go share. My last like 3, 4. I was just letting people know what we talked about this on air, but I posted it because I wanted people to actually like see. Everyone's talking about Kanye this and Kanye
Oh
that. Like
my
literally
God,
every
yes.
post is Kanye. And
He called me
again,
Cooch Ho.
Who did?
Right. He said Cooch Ho. I like that.
That's what you was back in the day.
That's gonna be my Halloween costume.
But yeah, so I'm just tired of everybody posting Kanye this, Kanye that. But it's like
Leave him alone.
It's a distraction because like literally 3 of the posts that I had posted, it was one about Brett Favre stealing millions from welfare. Yeah. There was another congressman who was like doing sexual illegal stuff overseas.
My
like
God. The doctor.
Yeah, the doctor. Like it's a bunch of other things that's going on in the world that they want to shield us from.
Yeah, because
and Kanye's more entertaining to talk about.
That's what I was gonna say. Because so for
but they do that because they control the narrative.
For the media to get their clicks.
Well, that narrative.
Yeah. They want everybody to talk about something that you can laugh at Kanye being quote unquote crazy, right? Everybody can come together and they can all laugh at him and hate him and talk about him and make fun of him and whatever the case may be. Because he's a black man that has a whole lot of money. Anything you can do to bring him down and to tarnish his legacy, you're going to do that, right?
And people are going to sit there and be like, here, he lost everything.
What they think of is what good is it going to do us as a media outlet to break down one of our legends, Brett Favre, who's a Hall of Famer, what good is it going to do to talk bad about Brett Favre?
Our people.
Yeah, exactly. What are we going to gain? But if you talk about Kanye, and you break Kanye down,
the people are going to chime in.
One less black dude who's got all that money.
Be one less lonely girl.
Now, I did see something today that kind of made me like, ooh, Karma's getting that ass.
Oh.
He went on, I don't know if it was when he was on Drink Champs or what it was, but he was like, I can go out in the media and say anti-Semitic things.
He did.
And Adidas can't drop me. He repeated it. He said, I can say anti-Semitic things and Adidas cannot drop me. What now? And I guess Adidas
the one thing I will...
Is that like a reverse psychology? I can't do it. Yeah.
Y'all look like little kids distracted with your little toys.
Hey, listen, we're setting up a show over here.
Right.
If you had a show, maybe you would know.
I do. It just doesn't have a name. Okay, leave me alone. And I fake recorded the first episode today. Don't talk about me, okay? Leave me alone.
Hey, whoever's on here, let us know if we got an echo. I don't think we have an echo, but let us know. You got an Instagram? Where y'all stand at? Put your stand on
Princess took it.
You could get on here too.
She took it. She had the expensive one
out there too. Because we can put you on here too. All 3 of us can be on here just.
All 3 of us.
All 3 of y'all.
3 of them.
As we finish the biz, we done.
Actually, I'll give you this one back, and I'll take the ring light.
Oh, so sweet. She
wants
the better lighting.
Ding, dong.
She wants the better lighting. That's what she gives to her.
In case y'all are wondering, no, we can't do this before we go on air because it just doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, okay. We have to do it while we're on air.
This is part of the show.
Yeah, the show.
Adidas actually dropped Kanye, and them dropping him immediately made him not a billionaire anymore.
So, or did it?
No, it literally changed his net worth.
But
it freed him.
Who posted that to show that it changed his net worth? Because was it just the network with them? Because
so Adidas was responsible for a lot of his companies. Like they were sending him checks for a lot of his companies. So him losing them definitely sent his
I just always want to know who's in charge of saying like, this person's the billionaire or that person's the billionaire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
the bank. I don't know.
Was it Bank of Adidas?
It's a valuation of all your companies. So, I mean,
but also who controls that?
You have to send that all to SEC.
The Jews.
Jews.
I can say it. The
Jews.
Jews, my friends. You know, but the one thing, aside from all the jokes, the one thing that I will say is what Kanye West said and what he's going through right now is something that like Arab people have been talking about for years. How much?
Turn yours down and then mute your mic. The mute is like a microphone. Boom.
Hey, we in here, y'all. Everybody say what up to Shay.
Hi, y'all. It's me.
She's the one we've been talking about who also will have a show once she gets a name for the show.
It's called the No Name Show.
Learns how to hit record when she records the show.
We'll practice.
You ain't never lived in that one.
We'll
you never live in that one.
We'll get better.
I'm sorry.
You know, here's the thing. I don't want to say nothing, but Cujo was supposed to be here to show me how to do it, but he didn't. And that's why I couldn't record my first episode.
Princess was here.
No, Princess had an appointment. She was busy.
I did.
Oh.
But I let her in,
But
and I pulled everything up.
So don't you try to blame her.
Go record.
And I thought I showed her. I said, it's how you record. But then we had to restart it and all that.
All you
stuff,
literally have to do, like, I probably would have messed it all up too. Okay.
I know.
Who
that is creeping through the window?
Hey. Cowboy K.
2K's about to hit the
We're
road.
gonna
Drive safe.
Drive safely.
No.
Listen to us on your road.
Yeah,
let's talk about you.
I'll talk about you. 2K always needs something when he come in here.
Right.
This is the first time he didn't need something.
Jada Bread.
So now it's official.
Look,
I knew she was here. I smelled it.
Look, talk about shameless plug.
We can always smell.
Look, guys, talk about shameless plugs. He came in the room to give us the cup.
Right.
Here, put this on here. Put that on air. How many times the show do we need to show the cup?
Yes, master.
What's our number? What's our
Yes,
number?
master.
Speaking of the cup, make sure you guys check
Hi,
out
cousin.
3JS Creative Group. Okay, they are a marketing consulting agency. They will help you do everything from SWOT analysis, marketing, LLCs,
Let me show that
trademarks,
because my nails are
copyright,
cuter.
um,
you.
anything that you need. They got the answers. They got the answers.
Why don't we
Like,
give away a mug next week?
Ooh, we should.
Let's do some kind of,
Anyone that shows me their titties in my DM.
why did this just kick me off? It says, you were live with Cujo. Thanks for joining, and it kicked me off.
Oh,
You must have
racist.
said, look, they won't let you plug companies on Instagram no more.
Now I gotta resend.
It's the whole
another
Kanye
request.
West thing.
You just spin it in mine.
Yeah, you spinning in ours.
I gotta resend I resent it. A request to join.
That's wild.
We don't even really have you on here no more. We just
Y'all
see
got
you
beef
spinning.
with, oh my lord, I forgot. My wife's been trying to win.
It's just
Queen
us
Bee sent you
now.
titties.
Oh, that's my cousin. What up, cuz? She
my
loves
wife's been
titties.
trying to win a mug from Fox 2 forever.
Courtney, we don't have one from
Yeah.
Fox 2.
No, she said she's in though.
Oh, but
She
we
wants
do
some
one
more
have
fun.
from 3J's, and you know what you got to do in my DMs, baby. Oh,
Wait,
okay, yeah,
did you
you're
just say send tits for a month?
Yeah. No? Nobody
Yeah,
said
her
that was
deal.
rules.
She said her deal.
No one said there
Wait,
was
I'm
rules.
like, hold on.
Oh,
I missed.
I'm about to
I
get in
missed that
trouble now.
promotion of the mugs.
She can send you a mean mug. Oh, that's what. Rap guy, get out of my head, bro.
What?
Mean
I said
mugging.
she could send you a mean mug.
He
said
Courtney
mean
said,
mug.
I got you. I'm good then.
She
I'm in
gonna
the
send you a
game.
picture of my titties.
Please don't send me a picture of his
I'm gonna send
titties.
the baby.
Please. That's a pedophile.
Oh, you're right.
Please
I'm
don't
sorry.
do that.
I'm sorry.
No,
Do
just
not
top
send
up.
me kids
Not if it's
or
a
men
boy. If
titties.
it's a boy
please.
top up, it's not. Okay, that's allowed.
Can I do an infomercial? Like, hi, would you like one of these 3J's cups?
But you gotta have two of them like this.
Yeah, two J jugs.
It's 3JS.
3J's jugs.
Make sure y'all check them out on their website. Oh, I think I have. If you guys are watching on Ustream, my stream.
These aren't even all of our companies.
See, Courtney say everybody loved titties. Oh no, that was
Why
Rap
does
God.
this keep
Everybody
kicking
loves
me
titties.
off?
Yes.
Why?
What?
No, what's the problem?
I
It
think it's
literally says,
racist.
thanks for joining.
Are you
You
on the
were in
Wi-Fi?
Cujo's live.
I think
If you're
Cujo
on
keeps
the
kicking you
Wi-Fi,
off.
I ain't even touch it.
That's what she said.
What me?
I didn't even touch it.
I don't know why it keeps playing hating on me.
I don't know why. Maybe because I joined. You want me to get off so you can get on?
No,
No.
it just don't. It
Because
just
when
don't
I
like
go
it.
live, when we go live on all
I
those
sent
other,
another request.
there's usually enough for 4 people to be on at once. So it's not
Oh,
that.
so they're like, yeah, we're not doing no threesomes today.
Right.
I just turned my mic off.
You turned your Wi-Fi off.
Yeah, I
That's
turned my Wi-Fi
probably
off.
what.
Because we can still hear ourselves. Hello, hello.
Hello,
Do you hear us?
it's me.
I don't know why.
I was wondering if you were in
Why
my
do I keep
You're
DMs.
echoing. It ain't us.
I muted my mic.
You turn the volume all the way down.
Yeah.
You-
What about now?
Yeah, we still echoing, baby. Hello.
Whose mic isn't muted?
Mine isn't. Is yours?
But mine is muted.
Mine is muted.
Hello.
Hello.
You
Okay, here we
have
go.
it all the way down.
Why we always
Are we
have technical
echoing
difficulties?
on here? Anybody? Are we echoing?
Who's setting us
Let me
up?
see. Can you hear? Can you hear? It's on. I don't know what is going on with Instagram today. They don't like me.
Your phone tripping.
Yeah, your phone tripping.
It wasn't like this
No,
earlier.
I think last time it was. Like, you could still hear it, but it wasn't echoing.
Oh.
Yeah. Somebody let us know if we're echoing over here on.
We're gonna do some promo videos as well for the hashtags on the UChat starting November 1st through 30th of November.
I'm to all my family overseas, everybody.
No, this is annoying.
Yeah.
It has to be
Okay, so
echo somewhere.
Whose phone is it?
Okay, I'm gonna hop off.
Someone said
I'm
we
gonna
are
turn mine
echoing. Rap guys. said
So
we're echoing.
turn your mic on.
Okay, my mic is on. It's like being so weird today.
There.
How about now?
Good. Now
We're
are we
good?
echoing
Yeah,
now?
Are we
we're
good in the hood?
He said not loud though.
Are we
Okay.
good now? We just kind of switched it
Are
up.
we good in the hood? Let us know. What's
Please,
good?
someone tell us if we're good or not.
Can you hear me now?
Jess, one of my favorite artists that I found on the IG Live world. And I said that earlier while you were on, and I don't know if you saw that. You were in the car.
Pull up on IG Live. Me and Cujo did not plan to wear plaid today.
No, they did.
I want to
And
make that known.
Name wanted to make sure that I wasn't cool enough.
First of all, we didn't even
live.
know if you were gonna stay because you don't even like us like that.
So wait, y'all, listen. Jason.
Who's
it is.
Jason? Oh,
I keep
pronounce
calling him
it as
Jazz.
Jason.
It's pronounced as Jason. My apologies, sir. We have never talked at all, and I'm glad I got that correction because I would have been promoting somebody that doesn't exist.
I'm glad I didn't say the name because I would have definitely
all of this
said,
trash
said
that Shay is
Jazz
talking,
accents.
I'm the one that asked her to stay. Okay.
He did not ask
I
me to
wanted
stay.
her on the show.
Yeah.
Princess said, "Are you leaving or staying?" And I said, "I'll stay."
Indian.
And then I don't remember because it was so much hate
Dog.
in that
This
chair
is
right
what
there.
it feels like to work on air with two women. You always
Yo,
want to be
this shirt was
outnumbered.
smaller a couple of
He
months
literally
ago.
tortures us.
I got
Tortures
bigger. I did 10 push-ups last night.
Oh,
I will see you in the gym.
I got 10 push-ups now.
In the gym.
Working out.
Don't y'all love when you like when you fast or you
shooting
starve
in the
for like one day and then you step on a scale the next day? Like,
And you lost 2
Wait, why am I
pounds.
starving for one day? What happened? Was
You
it
you're
like
just trying to
war or
lose
something?
weight. No, you're trying
Oh
to lose
no,
weight.
honey.
And,
No, honey.
and you not eat for like a day. So that way-
No, that's what they do to my people overseas. I have to eat every single day for them because they're missing
For
out.
them.
on it.
Gotcha.
I was like back in the day. Okay.
Gotcha.
Have y'all used that? You haven't because you don't have kids. But have you used the line, there's people starving over in Africa?
I have
You gotta eat
not.
all your-" I've used
There's
it.
people
just
starving right here in
because-
Detroit down the street.
Yeah,
I didn't use it because it don't make sense.
it doesn't. But Nino Banks in the building,
Because I
there's
thought
you,
about it.
brother.
Like, if I eat this or throw it away, they
It
still
don't matter.
starving.
But I use it in the way of like you should be grateful that you have this food that you're calling that you're saying is gross because some people don't have food to eat.
No,
And if
I've
they,
done that.
if
I've
they
done
were
that.
to have been afforded the opportunity to eat this
Yeah.
meal that you think is gross or don't want to eat, then they would eat it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I've done that before.
Yeah,
Like,
that way.
Be
Like the
thankful
whole,
that you even have dinner.
there's kids starving in Africa. They're like, okay, that's a real.
But I
problem.
don't care about
If
the
I
kids.
sent this to them, it'd be bad by the time it got to them, my G. So I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I'm gonna throw it
If
out.
you put it in the way of like you should be grateful that you have food on your plate,
You should be
even
thankful
though it's
you
not
were
what you
not.
necessarily want.
You
right
ever
now.
thought about volunteering on like the holidays, making the kids volunteer their
So
time?
okay,
We
so
talked
we've
about
talked about
that.
this before. I want to stop and I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, but my youngest twins are 1.5 years, and
Get them out to work.
that's what I'm
They should
saying.
have jobs.
As it's all enough. As they grow up, I want to not start the institution of Christmas with gifts.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. I would prefer if I taught them to give on those days instead of receiving
Yeah.
gifts. So our plan is, I know we're in a mixed bag right now because we're kind of deciding this like now. So our older kids, we don't really don't get them anything because
Yeah.
they're older, have jobs and all that. So we do stockings. And our youngest kid that's going to be coming to my house this year is 6.
Aw.
So I think I'm still going to get her like because we have a
Yeah.
split household kind of thing. So
Yeah.
she gets presents on her other side. So I'm going to give her a few years to kind of grow before
Yeah.
I tell her that that's the new thing. But eventually we will all be going out and giving for the holidays instead of us doing gifts and stuff. Now,
I
doing
think
the
it's the
stocking-
greatest idea.
doing stockings with some candy in it, maybe some little gifts and stuff like that, just
Yeah,
so we can
little
still
cute
have,
stuff. Yeah.
still have the spirit and still do something on that day. But it'll mostly be about family It'll be about eating food
I love
together,
that.
enjoying, you know what I mean?
Or
each
go
other,
on a
and then-
family trip or something. You know, like
Yeah.
make it
That's
where
what,
on Christmas you just spend time together, and that's
Mm-hmm.
really what Christmas is about.
That's what my family has started to do over the years. We started doing family vacations
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
Christmas, and I mean, sometimes I even hate calling it Christmas.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of want to call it like
Holidays.
Give Day or the holiday. Yeah, we
Yeah.
say like the holidays, but
Yeah.
just changing that narrative of because I asked for this, I'm supposed to get this. I mean, like,
And you know,
Yeah,
can
I
I
mean-
share something with y'all? Like moving here, like up until I was 12 years old, I didn't have a Christmas.
Right.
There was no Christmas.
So y'all
Yeah.
don't
And then when
even, is there
No.
you don't have the holidays
Like we
do
celebrate
here?
Eid and things like that overseas.
Okay.
Eid is kind of like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
holiday over there,
Yeah.
but it's not celebrated with gifts. It's celebrated
Yeah.
with family time, right? So
Yeah.
like,
And that's what it should be.
yeah, like you get dressed up, you go hang out with your cousins that you barely see, you go hang out with your uncles and people that you don't see. And then when I moved here, like my dad and my stepmom would literally hand us magazines and be like, pick what you want for Christmas. And
Yes,
each kid has
exactly.
like a $600 budget. This was cool for the first 2-3 years, but then I was just like, I don't even
Ask
want
her if
anything
she can
anymore.
have-
Like,
is she taking like
yeah.
needy kids on her list? You
I
know?
swear to God, that's how it
Show
was.
me a couple of them $600.
Okay, because when I got 16, I told my dad, I was like, I don't want anything for Christmas.
Use this for something.
Use it
Yeah.
for something else. Once you start realizing the value of money, you know.
yeah,
And now my nephew's going through that where he is getting spoiled like that because there's so many of us spoiling him. So he
Mhm.
gets like a budget of maybe $1,500 or more on Christmas
That's so
because of
crazy.
all of us buying him stuff.
That's
But it's
insane
like
to
he
me.
feels entitled now. So every Christmas, it's a stressful
Yeah.
time of the
And that's
year when
what
you don't have
happens.
money.
I mean,
yeah.
what really happens and what you pigeonhole yourself into is, for one, credit card debt.
Mm.
You know,
Oh.
trying to make sure these
Oh,
kids
oh.
don't ever miss out on anything,
Oh,
which
no.
is terrible. But for two, if you get them that PlayStation 1 year or whatever, and then next year you're struggling a bit and you don't get them anything
Yes.
as extravagant, now it's a letdown and they're not going to have as good of a Christmas.
It's
Now
like
they're
an
all
expectation
value.
now. It becomes an
Right.
expectation.
Plus,
So-
it's not, you shouldn't.
No. So I was telling my dad this year, like my nephew should be doing something to give back. Whatever it is, you should be giving back to kids, homeless people,
yeah.
refugees, whatever it is. He needs to get involved in something when
Yeah.
he gives back because him just expecting these gifts and these things is too much.
I guess I got jaded over the years. I mean, I just, especially with my journey into spiritualism, and not really. I think what it came down to, and I've been really talking about it a lot lately, because I think it's a matter of what I was comfortable with people thinking about me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was always one of those faux pas things for me to just be like, I don't believe in God,
Yeah.
because it's not necessarily that I don't believe in God. I don't believe in naming whatever that thing, figure, or
Right.
entity is.
Mhm.
And I think I finally have become comfortable with publicly being like, I don't believe what y'all believe. So
And that's your right.
right.
Yeah.
That is literally you. And
I've been scared. I've been scared for years about it.
No,
You know what I mean?
I'm
It's
so
such
proud
a
of
touchy
you.
subject.
I'm so proud of you. And
You know what I
and
mean?
you know, I fake recorded that earlier when I was fake recording my show.
So what I was saying, everyone else,
Fake-
I did say that, you know, I said every
deism.
person, yeah, that means you don't believe in one specific entity
That's
or
what Jason just
or
said.
God. Yeah. I was talking about that and I said, you know, your religion or your belief is your journey.
Yeah.
So it should never be your goal when you talk to someone to alter that for them. And if they are a non-believer, they are a non-believer because of their journey.
But see,
No,
that's-
right.
you
and
know,
that's what I hate too, though, because it's everybody on this planet for the most part has to label things.
yes.
So even it being called deism, I'm like, well, I don't believe in that either now. Like,
see what
you know
I mean?
Like,
You're like, I just
want-
don't want
I feel like
put a label on it.
sexuality and your spirituality are the topics that shouldn't be talked about
No,
with anybody
I
but
agree.
the people like me. I should be the only one that cares what I believe in. and
I
we shouldn't have to-
100% agree.
I shouldn't have to define it or name it or anything. And then sexuality is between me and my partner.
I agree with that.
That
too.
should be
Yeah.
it. So I don't know. I hate the fact that it's like, oh, well, what are you? Then you can't just be nothing. Like
I am.
Yes,
I am
well,
me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just I have my own self.
Well, I mean, I agree with both of you guys because growing up, my household was like not what they call it non-denomination. And I get the fact that some people, like you said, don't want to be called something. But at the end of the day, we have to realize everything has a name for
Yeah.
something. Like it's not anything in this world that they don't try to put a name on. I mean, look at freaking COVID, for crying out loud. they came up with the Omarion variant.
Oh
I don't care
my
what nobody says. They renamed it the Omarion variant. Like
they don't even
No,
care.
like, and it's like, oh, you got the sickleitis. Like they're literally calling anything everything. So I agree. Not getting caught up in the title, but getting caught up in the actual meaning, the actual practice, the actual day to day. Because some people will get caught up in the name.
Yeah.
And the name is what's making them feel as if they're doing good, but really you're a piece of crap of a person. Or you know what I'm saying?
And that name put you back in a box that you didn't want to be in.
Yeah.
Right?
So
like that's why people don't choose a religion or something, because they don't want to be put in this box of stereotypes.
But then when you don't choose a religion,
still put you in
and then you get, so you're an atheist then, or you're not, you're a non-believer. Exactly. I believe in a bunch of things. I believe in a lot of things. I'm a very strong believer in a lot of things.
Yeah. I'm a spiritual person. Yeah. It's hard to explain that to people when you're like, I don't conform to one religion, but I believe that they're all true. And they're like, that makes no sense. Yes, it does.
It's so funny to me because it makes less sense for you to sit here and tell me there's one way, there's one God, there's one.
But to them, that mentality is right.
Billion people on this
and you're
planet.
telling me you are the one who has the answer to get into heaven?
You know.
Oh,
you ain't
okay,
got the
then.
answer, Sway.
Don't say you can't use that no more.
Yeah, you see that because he said, "Sway, you had the answer."
And that's that. No, but that's like literally the gist of life. Like people say, you don't have the answers until you go through it to see, like, okay, the answers were already given or the answers were already there. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the lesson learned in that people aren't understanding, and it takes a lot of courage to actually go back and tell somebody, you know what? You were right. I should have listened to you.
I love hearing those words. Those words turn me on.
I got a little nervous because we're talking about not necessarily believing, and then High Priestess shows up.
Yes, that's my homegirl.
They sent the people after me.
It's a different kind of high.
Hey girl, hey. I just actually messaged her and told her if she tuned in, I would shout her out. So thank you for tuning in, girl. Heard you back.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like it's one of those conversations. I really truly feel like if we were to all have this conversation and really break it down and on a global scale started really breaking down religion and what it really means and what it shouldn't mean, and really soften the edges around the
It'll be a reality check for a lot of people.
I feel like there'd be far less wars, there'd be far less drama, there'd be far less
But they don't want that.
They don't want that.
Because if wars,
they don't want that.
Religions and race is really what fuels war.
You know how much money these churches and religions and all of that stuff
it's the easiest way to clean money.
You know,
nobody asks you.
Right.
The easiest way to clean.
So I actually wanted to. That's something I'm still in the works on. Okay.
Making a church.
Yeah.
No, not a church.
Because I was going to be a deacon.
Not a church.
A priest.
But I want it to be on Sunday or Friday. I don't really know which day of the week, but one of those days. I want to create a show where it's people having these conversations, but it's really like the leaders of
just
the
come on the No
churches.
Name Show.
Because I want people to, we are so quickly to look at the differences. We don't look at the similarities within every religion or every practice or every study.
Yeah.
And I feel if we practice more on looking at the similarities, we can get along better. Yeah. But people are so quick to just point out, but you do that and we don't. Okay, well, let's discuss the things that we
Why do you do it?
Exactly.
Why do you do it? Give me the reason behind your story, and then your story will make sense. If you don't read a story, or if you don't read the book, it will never make sense. But people are so quick to look at you and be like, I know your full story because I know little things about you, right? And people think that they can just put these pieces together, but it's not that. Everybody has their own.
I can't stand when somebody says, well, the Bible says, if you don't like dog, really? Yeah. To me, you lose so much credibility in my mind. If you're going to tell me something about my life,
stop citing another author.
Going to quote what the Bible
says. But this is what people misinterpret with the Bible. This is just my perspective. And I know we always get into these conversations with Shay, come on here, and we're not going to do it all the way today. Okay? Only going to do it halfway today.
At least we didn't start at 6.
Yeah, right?
I know, we jump right into it.
Good.
But for me, my perspective and what makes a lot of sense for me, and again, notice I use for me, because everyone, determines and looks at the Bible differently, and we have to understand that. But I feel that all the Bibles are testimonies. Literally, that's what it's called,
Yes.
right? It's called his story because it's literally his story. That's why it's history. It's giving you a story of, okay, I did this is what happened, and this is the result of me. Are you going to make the same dumb mistake I did, or are you going to make another mistake to better it or live a different way?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I view the Bible. I don't necessarily look at it like this is how you're supposed to live, because in all of the Bibles or all of the books or the words, nobody was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They all went through something. They all dealt with something, but it's just giving their perspectives of how they handled it. And if we also look at it, it was not written by that actual individual. So that's what we
Except
also have to look
Quran.
at.
Except for the Quran and the Torah, both books were written while the prophets were alive.
Right, written while the prophet was alive, but still from someone else's perspective.
From
What
God's
year was
perspective. So
what year were those?
The story behind those two Abrahamic religions that separates them from the other Abrahamic religion, which is Christianity, is that what up though? Is that the Torah and the Quran were both written while the prophet was there. So the prophet is the one who claimed.
So was he dictating the story to them and they were writing it down?
How it came down is it came down to the in scriptures based on the lesson that they needed to learn while they were going through something. So they claimed that God was the one that was speaking to them, and through those words were what was written down. So they weren't stories, they were actual God written words. And the Torah and the Quran are the only two books that have not been altered or changed to different languages, because you technically really can't transcribe.
No, okay.
And that's what I
just
do
to
love.
play devil's advocate.
Please do.
This is what I always say.
Yeah.
When somebody says something like that.
Yes.
How do you know?
So
that it hasn't been changed,
altered or changed. So the Quran, if you've ever recited or read the Quran, it is written in such an intricate way that it's so complicated for people to read it. Even people that speak Arabic to the T. Every single sentence in the Quran is translated into paragraphs because of how strong it is. And mind you, another thing that separates the Quran from other books for me, because I studied religion for a while, and Quran is the only one that gives scientific values. It even told you in the Quran how the baby was made, and we didn't get ultrasound pictures until maybe 20 years ago. But they knew in the Quran how the baby was formed. Back in the day, we used to think that the inside forms first, like the bone, the blah, 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 and then the skin. And later they found out that it's the other way around.
Right.
It was already in the Quran.
Yeah.
The Quran also describes light years, which is something we never knew about. It describes space and galaxies. So in the Quran, to me, there was more scientific value than any other book or religion that I've really encountered.
But none of that still explains to me why it said that it was never changed or altered at all.
Because there's no versions of it.
Okay.
Listen. There is more than one version of the Bible. There's New Testament, Old Testament, John.
So
there's one Quran.
There's no
Quran.
There's
never been. And the Quran is only written in one language.
Letter
by letter. Notch by notch.
Okay. That's all.
And
I don't know.
That's why I love having these
conversations.
conversations. I'm not getting mad. Yeah.
So
it's not my religion.
No,
so
I'm just. And this is another thing that I feel like people need to do, right? Because when you play devil's advocate, usually I think the point of playing devil's advocate is because you think you have something that might catch somebody up. When you ask that question and that question is answered to your satisfaction, you need to make it known that you were just asking. And hey, cool.
No, you know
this
what?
I've been in
your
this is what
place
I want
before.
to happen more often.
Yes.
I want me to ask that question,
and you want
and it
somebody to
legitimately
answer.
gets answered.
That's what I said on my show today.
I don't know. It just
No, I completely agree. And I asked Shay tons of questions because I'm reciting what he's saying because I know some of these words because David is Muslim, but I know you could probably pronounce them way better than I can.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Yes, and he said, "Mashallah." But with learning Muslim and reading the Quran, those are the details that I do like over a lot of other religions because it is very fact based and like he said. Fastest growing religion because of the truth in the Quran. And that a lot of people have this I need to know where this comes from or that comes from in order to understand it or believe it.
And the Quran gives you answers.
The Quran does give you answers. But a lot of the times I still feel like, okay, why do we need all of that?
Yeah.
We
No,
can't
100%.
No, like we can't see Wi-Fi, but people just believe
people
that
believe
it works.
it.
You know what I'm saying? We don't go into, well, how does this connect to be able to connect to my phone? How does the rewording and the configuration? But we just say Wi-Fi.
I'm one of those people that are like,
he's always one of them people.
I'm one of those people. And it's not that I need, like, I'm not one of those like doomsday preppers that I got just everything's a conspiracy. I'm not even like that. It's just, to me, as my life molds and as in everybody's life, you have to figure out what makes you tick, right?
Yeah.
And what you can and can't deal with and what's going to keep propelling you forward. And for me to, at this point in my life, with the things that I've believed in the past and found not to be true, or believed in and got me in some shit because I believed in those things, or the things that have hurt me mentally because I did it.
So now you naturally question everything.
I just know not to protect myself per se, but for me to formulate my own decisions in how your beliefs are to push you forward and make you live life as a good person, right? So for me to formulate what my beliefs are truly, I have to find the most solid things I can in my life to ensure that mentally I can stay on track. So now what works for me is making sure I scrutinize and I break down everything before I believe it.
And you're supposed to. You're supposed to. Like you're supposed to go to
people don't do
religion. You know why I feel you? Because I've been in your place. When I was so curious about religion and I asked those questions,
people
religious leaders got mad.
You're not supposed to ask any questions. And
I'm like, how? God literally tells you that we are curious human beings. So
and
just because you put a book in front of me doesn't mean about.
How can I learn if I can't ask you questions, to better understand it? Just because you read a book doesn't mean that you're going to understand it. There may be some gray areas that you don't understand or that you don't know, but I hate how religion is like, if you ask questions, it's frowned upon, or you don't question God. I'm not questioning God. I'm questioning the study. I'm questioning like,
but I had the most resistance from Christianity. I had the Baptist, Catholic, I went to both churches, and I also went to Jehovah Hall. And all three of them gave me the most resistance to answer questions. And it was questions like,
here
in America? Yeah.
That's the American.
For sure. No, overseas, they're just as bad too with religion. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Closed-minded when it comes to religion.
I feel like they'd be worse over there. I feel like overseas, they're closer to God. They're closer to the
That's what makes it worse. That's what makes it worse. Right. Because man controls it at that point. Once man controls religion, it's like, I respect Islam the most out of the three Abrahamic religions. But the practice part of Islam is the reason why I'm not convinced. And that's why I tell my dad all the time, the prayer, the fasting, the wearing the hijab and all that stuff, to me, I don't understand how these things bring me closer to God.
Right.
I feel like those are the my opinion. I agree. Those are the main portions of the religion.
How can you control someone? Make them pray 5 times a day. How can you control the woman? Make her cover up. Right. Now, I understand the reasoning behind it of like, of covering up your women and making the man respect the woman for her mind instead of her looks.
And having the woman be,
decent and covered up
and feeling some self-respect.
100%. It shouldn't be so extreme, though. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And that's
a
how I
woman
feel.
shouldn't be covered up just so a man doesn't have those urges.
She should be covered up because she wants to.
No, you should make the man wear a blindfold. That's
the part, like you said.
All the men out there are like, you're supposed to be on our side.
Yeah.
those are the practices that, like, if you question, people feel like you're downing it. And it's like, I'm not questioning the religion, I'm questioning the practice. Like, okay, so if I don't do this or if I miss this, I'm automatically deemed to hell, or I'm automatically
and that's what I have a problem
person.
With. Yeah.
Like, okay, if I'm normally praying 5 times a day and I miss a prayer because work or family or these things, now I'm looked at as a bad Muslim just because I missed one. Like those are the parts that, like, for me, I'm like, but everything else, I mean, it's such
like, what to me, because of the surrender of getting down on your knees or whatever, like,
well, it's beyond that. So
But
prayer is incorporated. Okay, if you really think of it in a different way, why I say Quran makes sense is because you pray 5 times a day. Each prayer is about 5 minutes, right? 5-6 minutes is each prayer. 5 by 6 is 30. That's your required 30 minutes of physical activity. You are getting physically active
because you're moving.
Plus, you're washing up 5 times a day. So
you're staying clean.
and stuff like that is really the main reason behind prayer. Aside from submitting and all that stuff, it's the act of being clean and coming to God clean
and keeping yourself pure.
And keeping yourself
pure. It's like that breakdown of, okay, you give yourself 30 minutes a day to have sex, or 30 minutes to jerk off, or 30 minutes to try to get some booty.
They don't take 30 minutes. They take like 2.
I'm just saying, like, you give yourself. Times. I'm just saying, like,
that's a whole
you
lot.
give yourself 30 minutes to do these, non-elevating things. Why not give yourself 30 minutes a day to help continue to keep yourself pure and
grounded,
keep yourself focused and grounded? So I see the balance in it. I know it's very, very disciplined. But what I will say is, it is the most beautiful religion, because there's something over here that they don't teach you properly about Muslim and the Quran. So when people actually go to Mecca, it's a complete different.
Why do you think Malcolm X had so much resistance coming back? When Malcolm X went to the Middle East and prayed and came back, he came back and he told Elijah Muhammad, everything you're teaching people here is wrong. It's not Islam.
Yeah.
And he freaked out and he told him, you have to change your name and blah, 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 blah. And same thing with Muhammad Ali. When they go overseas and they see the truth and they come back here and they're like, every Muslim in the masjid or in the mosque prays together.
Yeah.
Here, they wanted a black mosque and a white mosque or whatever it is, or an Arab mosque. You can't do that.
I think, for one, the world, humans in general, have perverted all of this. I think in America, only because I know America better than everywhere else, it's super perverted.
Exploited.
Very much so. And I think even myself, not even being a religious person, for me to go somewhere like that, and not even for the origins of it, saying Jesus or whoever was there, but just the history of people and the peacefulness in those places, and the togetherness, the whole
unity that it brings together.
The believing in something together as one people in those places. I think that alone would move me.
Yeah. Because
not
you don't see that
necessarily
here.
To believe the same thing.
Yeah,
but just that unity and that peace.
When you watch the videos serenity. Over at the mosque, and I'm gonna read Rockstar. He said, plus it helps avoid letting evil consume you. I love this discussion. I wish I was there. He said Elijah made it about race, but Islam is about love and peace, no matter where you come from.
That is
absolutely true. Yeah. But when you watch the videos of them over at the mosque, I mean, like, it's literally like
it's goosebumps.
It's like a mall filled with people walking. It's not a mall, but I'm just saying, like, the size of it. I'm not disrespecting it, but I'm saying, like, the space of it, like, it's so large, and there's like people walking and hugging and talking and walking around.
So it's
the
a
rock
peaceful
and all,
act,
like, it's so peaceful, and I mean, like, everyone there is like smiling, like they're all happy. But then when you look at the mosque here, like you
they're
said,
not like that.
It's divided. It's your mosque, my mosque, and even for churches, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will literally eyeball you for just walking into a random church that you're not.
Like they did me when I walked into a Baptist church.
Right.
Yeah,
my black
friends
were like, "What you doing here?"
It's like, if this is a word of God, shouldn't that be welcomed wherever I am? You know what I'm saying?
But it's man. It's man that alters all this and makes it bad the way it is.
Right.
You know?
And that's why at the end of the day, it's hard for me to believe in any form of religion, because I don't know who started this, and I know it was. I know that it was a man-made. So when I was in middle school or something, living, just in middle school, we were going. There was 3 churches in my square area of 3x5 neighborhood. There was 3 or 4 different churches, and I'm pretty sure it was the one we went to. The pastor got caught like drinking in with hookers. This kind of stuff.
Yep.
So we stopped going to that church specifically, and I stopped believing in church.
Yeah.
Because if
this is the person that's preaching it to
by
me.
God,
so and that's okay. So that's another thing that, like, for me, that's like a misconception. So just because a person is like giving a great message or a person of God, I mean, we all are technically people of God, religion, or whomever. But
it's getting hot here.
The devil on your ass.
Ain't nothing but the devil on you.
We're doing the exorcism here.
If you pray, it'll go down 10 degrees.
I'm cool. I'm light as a feather.
Somebody give me a blanket.
But I think that's what happens when people introduce religion too early to kids and don't teach them that you're supposed to believe into the religion and not the people that are there because these people are imperfect just like us. You know what I'm saying?
Idolizing the Pope and
But there's a
idolizing
hierarchy,
gays.
though. There's a
Yeah.
hierarchy that you teach kids that are going to church. This is your pastor. These are your deacons. And
But I
You can let
don't.
them touch you.
I was gonna say I don't.
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
should.
But I was gonna say that's the problem that like with these younger people and like not telling the kids like, okay, although he's the pastor, he's just delivering the word. He's still human.
Yeah.
He still makes mistakes. But that's why it's important for you to know the word regardless of who's giving it to you, because that person could be a phony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, okay, if you see a homeless person and he's giving you life advice, do you just disregard it because he's homeless? I mean, he could be telling you decisions to not make so you don't
shut your homeless ass up.
Yes.
Look how you got here.
Bro, I'm not
He
gonna
giving
believe
you financial
Why
advice
am I
and
gonna
shit like,
believe what you say?
do you
on
want
the
this
streets,
dollar or
man.
not, sir?
Right.
He over here like, if you
okay,
invest
so by that
y'all
rationale,
1% of your IRA.
no, we
No.
being real.
That's
We
so
are being
mean.
real.
So he gonna come up to
listen,
me and give me IRA advice, like, do you want this dollar or
he had a
not, sir?
successful IRA.
Ask for a dollar.
What he did with this IRA at the end of it was the
I
problem.
can't deal with
But
that.
see, my point is
Don't
this,
blow it
though.
on strippers and cocaine.
If you
Can I have a
tell them
dollar?
that they should just know the word, right, and then it's just that one person, whatever.
Yeah.
It would be like believing in like a company comes through to do your carpet, right, and they have the right stuff to do your carpet, and they have the right materials, they have the right processes, but they screw your carpet all the way up because they didn't do it right. Are you gonna believe in that company still?
Oh
And have
no.
them send you out another crew
No.
from that company, or are you
No,
gonna be like,
not that
"I'm not going with
company.
that
You
company."
find someone else to do a company. But the fact is, your carpet still need clean. You believe in a
Okay.
carpet cleaning company.
Still need
not
to get into
that
heaven.
company.
I'm going to get look.
You get
I'm
us-
going,
You just don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I go to another company.
Yeah, cause
I need my carpet. At that point, that's when you go buy. Look, that's when you go buy the machine yourself,
Oh
which
my
is the
oh,
word,
here he goes.
and you
with the
perform
DIY.
it yourself.
But no, I
right?
do agree with that as
Mhm.
well. I do feel like with whatever religion you believe in, higher power, scientist, rock star, whatever. Not you, rock star. I'm not throwing shade. I meant like because
Yeah,
no,
rock star.
people pray to like rocks. And I
Yeah.
don't know what it's called.
They do, yeah.
But
Crystals and stuff.
yeah. It still has to do with your inner thoughts because as much as we believe, yes, we're talking to God, you still need to know how to decipher those good decisions versus bad decisions because you can pray all day, but if you don't know how to receive information or have that gut feeling, you praying is not going to really lead you nowhere because you're not really doing the work for it. So I do still feel that it depends on you having that gut feeling of, I know this is probably wrong.
Yeah.
That's your inner intuition. That's your
But some people would say that that's God talking to you, not your own.
right.
inner-
But I'm saying that's still.
And that's where no, for real.
No,
that's,
some people do
that's
say
where
that's
things,
God
okay,
talking
that's
to
where
them.
things really get messy when
Yes.
it comes to this because there are people, and I always say as well, if turning to religion is something that will keep you from killing yourself or doing crime or
Then
killing
please
other people,
do it.
Please do it. But
By all
when
means.
people start talking about, I hear Jesus talking to me in my
Yeah,
head.
no, that's voices, sir.
but
That's
and
schizophrenia.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like everybody said,
And you think the prophets had schizophrenia back
that's
in the
what.
day?
God, thank you. That's all I'm ever saying.
Thought about
is,
it.
what if these people were on some
really
like real
cray-cray.
crazy psychotropic?
But they wrote
drugs?
some good books.
There was some bomb.
I
Look,
need some of that. You can't say the B word. I'm here.
I can. You can.
You can't because they're gonna think you're trying to warn them.
I can't say I'm going to get milk because that means I'm never coming back.
Yeah.
You can't. Say
I'm gonna get
You know
milk.
what? You go get the milk.
You
said
go
it's
get the bombs.
Got it. You got it.
They're
It's
kidding.
all about loopholes.
This is
kidding.
all jokes, people. But do you see how the world can literally control a stereotype?
Mhm.
And okay, so listen, y'all.
We get
I
deep.
do not mean to compare Kanye to anything.
Everything.
You mean to
But-
compare
Yes,
Kanye
you
to
do.
everything.
But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to show y'all examples of narratives that have been created
Yes.
by the world
Yep.
before. So we see Kanye and we see the World Trade Center, right?
Mm.
And the media makes us believe what they want us to
Yes, they
based
do.
upon these two events. The media wants us to believe that terrorist ISIS blew up the World Trade Center. The media wants us to believe Kanye is crazy. He's on a mental health
I thought you
binge.
was gonna say Kanye blew up.
Oh,
No, that was Bush.
No.
That was Bush.
Okay.
And then Kanye said that Bush doesn't care about black people.
Yeah.
So
Bush doesn't care about black
they
people.
saying that he's on a mental health ban. He's unstable. He's broke. He's this. He's that.
I think he's the most stable
But
he's ever been.
but when you really look at the pure details of both of these situations, it was not terror. That building
It was
blew
the
up way
government,
before. Like exactly, it was set up, but the media controlled the narrative to make people believe these things and have these outlooks on. Oh, we can't trust, foreigners or people who are, brought into because they controlled the narrative that created these bad stereotypes of these people because that's what they wanted us to believe. That's
the
not
countries
fair.
that ended up being banned on that list had absolutely
Nothing to do with anything.
Nothing to do
and
with
they
it.
never had, like a lot of those countries had never had any incidences of anyone even remotely doing anything violent in our country.
That's
Americans and homegrown terrorists are more responsible for all
just the
these
school
attacks.
shooters here is enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They didn't kill more people than Osama did. Shoot.
Thank you.
And they still haven't banned white people from schools.
Right. I don't understand either. Ban the whites.
Ban white people from schools. But we'll never have this.
Oh, you can say that and then add make it right.
Make it right.
No.
Ban right.
No. But we're not banning anyone because
we don't believe
that's what we don't
that's not our belief. No, it's others.
I was just saying that to say like how the media controls people's narratives, not this media company, because we tell it like it is and we let y'all know.
Here. Look,
we let it be known.
For any of y'all that may be new to this show, we're not all over the place. This is not us being scatterbrained. This is us telling you 80 different sides of the same coin that nobody ever tells you.
The
three of us, and here's what you don't know. The three of us could have the same exact views on the point, but we will draw out every other possible thought process.
Every other solution. Conversation.
Whether I believe it or not, I'm going to say it out loud to throw it around in the room and see
where it goes.
Because somebody on here might believe that way or hear something that we're talking about and have an opinion.
Yep, absolutely.
And we might all leave the conversation with different opinions at the end of the day.
And sometimes you have to say something out loud in order to really hear how it sounds. Because sometimes in our heads, it sounds like such a great idea. It's like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And then you say it, you put it on paper, and you're like, that was the dumbest thing I could have said.
I've never experienced that. Everything I think is going.
Short show.
So
it's starting to get slight case of dementia, as I'm noticing too.
Exactly.
Is that what's going on?
Exactly.
It's the lack of weed, cigarettes, and caffeine.
You name it.
So I decided to look up when the first Bible was sold.
Sold?
I was trying to find that info, but it's saying that the first Bible was prepared
200 years after Jesus died.
When did Jesus die? What year was that?
Something BC, AD, or was it AD?
So, but what year did the numbers as we know them start after the BC, AC?
I don't know.
All I know is
which one is it? AD or
Jesus
BC?
was dead for over 100-some years before they wrote the Bible.
Okay, this says preparation of the Bible probably began soon after 1450, and the first finished copies were available in 1454 or 1455. It is not known exactly how long the Bible took to print. The first precisely datable printing is Gutenberg's 31-line indulgence, which is known to already exist on 22 October 1454. So
that means the Bible was written 1400 years after Jesus died?
That was only less than 600 years ago.
Right, yeah. But that's the confusing part with
Christianity.
With other books. I'm not gonna pick on anybody.
We're not gonna pick, but we're just gonna say the truth. Yeah.
How did a book or a message get written down 1400 years
and by so many disciples? There isn't one version of it. Every Bible has a different version. Not one Bible tells the same story.
And there's certain so I've even learned this in the Quran. There are certain people that are in other Bibles that's not even mentioned or brought up in the Quran, like at all.
Nope. But Jesus and Mary are in the Quran for sure.
Now,
the prophets
the only way that I would for sure 100% believe in religion would be if it was the same text, but each religion interpreted it differently. But it's not the
It's
same
not.
text
So,
throughout these religions.
okay, so I did
Mhm.
do my research, and I've been studying this for a very, very long time because growing up in my household, my mom's side was like Christianity and my dad's side was like Jehovah Witness. So it was like a mixture. My parents like didn't really believe, but my mom read the Bible. We listened to Joyce Myers, all that kind of stuff. So getting married, David started looking into Islam. And he became Muslim, and he's been Muslim for about 5 years. So it's been like a back and forth of us two because I'm like, no, this is the Bible. This is what it is. Like, I grew up this word, like, you believe in this. And like, so we've been studying together, and the Quran was the last final message. So that was the last book. But what people don't realize is all the books before then could have been falsified, could have been, not the right information. And that's why the Quran was made to say, hey, listen, I know the other books beforehand, but this is the final one. This was written in
that's
real
what the story
time.
of the Abrahamic religion
and that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But everyone had already formed their own opinions and didn't even want to even look into it to see if it had any truth.
Nope.
And
if you look at the Torah and the Quran and Judaism and Islam are very, very similar. Very similar. The only religion that's different out of those three Abrahamic religions is Christianity.
Right.
Christianity is the only religion that allows you to eat pork.
Yeah.
Christianity is the only religion that allows you to drink alcohol. So both the Jewish people and Muslim people do not do that.
Yeah.
So why Christianity is allowed? Christianity is the only one that does not allow priests to get married.
So in the Quran or in Judaism, did Jesus turn water into wine? Was that a thing, or is that just
yes, Jesus did have miracles. Yep, Jesus had miracles.
Like
Jesus was
wine,
real.
though. Water
Yes.
into wine.
Yeah.
So why would he have done what was the wine purpose of the wine if you're not allowed to drink it?
So the reason why Jesus did that is because they needed a miracle to believe him. So
but he could have done, if you're not allowed to drink and drinking is bad and that's poison, why would he have turned water into wine in the first place?
I never asked that before, but that does make sense.
Like,
but also, I feel like that quote in the Quran or the Bible is not. This is my interpretation. It's not that you're not supposed to drink. Drunkenness is bad.
Yeah.
Having a sip of wine is not bad, but being drunk and blacking out and belligerent.
Oh no!
What is that?
Who? Jason?
Jason.
Yeah, I wanted to read this too. It said the Council of, and I believe it's Nicaea. The Council of Nicaea was in the 500s AD. So technically, it wasn't written then. But the first time it was translated outside of Latin was the date you said. Which, when I seen Latin, I was like, "What do you mean it was in Latin?"
Yeah, it was in Latin. It was in which made no sense because it wasn't. It should have been written in Aramaic. It shouldn't have been Latin. It should have been in Aramaic.
The first Bible.
It doesn't make sense.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
The first Bible actually was called the Gospel.
Yes, and the Bible really. Yes, black people got it. But no, it's true. Like the Bible has no context.
Right.
Like, okay, people are gonna get mad at me for saying it.
Look,
but it's fine.
When
I open a Torah or I open a Quran, I walk away and I learn something. Mm-hmm. When I read the Bible, it's just stories. You don't learn anything, and it's written by so many different people.
I don't know if you guys see this because it's not on you guys, but that's what Jason said earlier. He said it's a historical science fiction novel as story compilations like Game of Thrones.
It's true. And it was written way after the prophet has
I want somebody current, somebody modern to do a show called The Bible and make these current
Lucifer.
Right, literally Lucifer. No, it does. It challenges your look on.
I want to make it like HBO though, and like actually go through and do it like the Bible says that everything happened, and make an actual show. And I wonder
if people will look at it and be like, "This don't make sense."
And I want them to do it word for word. I want them to do it exactly how it's depicted in the Bible. How successful would that show be? Do you think?
See, me personally, I wouldn't watch it
brainwashed.
I don't like Game of Thrones.
But if
humans are so brainwashed, then they will make it make sense.
If everybody's living their lives according to this text, and a show is made exactly as this text is read, then how would it not have millions and millions and millions and millions and millions.
Because everybody's
of
not
viewers.
everybody's not living their life.
And people
off
are
of the text.
brainwashed.
Listen, do you know how many people have never even read a full scripture out of the Bible or the Quran?
No,
like
they know nothing.
They literally Google a scripture just to go under a picture.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know the meaning of the context.
Nope.
So you see a lot of people out here pretending that they are people of God or they're into the books, but they don't even know the beginning of that scripture, what verse, what page, or anything out of a Bible or a Quran.
I got a butchered scripture on me that I kind of growing up, because my uncle used to always tell me, given thou shalt receive, basically, which I know is from the Bible. And Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So I put that together as like one long thing. Lord is the shepherd. Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Given thou shalt receive. And I have that on me because I believed in that back then. And still to this day, I believe in a form of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like give and you shall receive, I think is definitely something I will always live by, regardless of who said it.
And that could go in the Bible under Book of Cujo.
Book of Cujo. Book of Cujo.
Cujos.
Yeah, indeed. What I was going to say is, it says too much of anything is a sin, but you're supposed to constantly worship God. You're supposed to pray.
But you're not constantly. That's not constantly.
You're
30 minutes. 30 minutes a day is not too much.
You're supposed to pray 30 minutes a day, but you're supposed to always be worshiping the Lord. You're supposed to always in your soul be following His. You're supposed to follow His word every second of your life, right?
No, where does it say that?
There's a lot of room
Doesn't
for
say
forgiveness and a lot of room for error.
So I only am required to worship you 30 minutes a day, but the other 23 hours and
It's
30
you.
minutes I could be wilding out.
In Islam, they believe it's
as
you and your internal belief of why you're doing the things you're doing. So you and your intention. So if I come here and
that's so dangerous.
do something unintentional,
and that's exactly why extremists are in this world.
I know.
Because
It's
extremists are
100%.
I'm blowing up all these infidels in the name of my God, and when I go over, so then you wouldn't even need to repent, because if you believe you're killing people in the name of that God, then you're doing.
Why do you think people kill in the name of religion?
Exactly. And
that's why we have those.
That's
why we have those extremist Muslims. That's why you have those extremist Christians. And it's true.
But it's also one of those things of how can you really control it? You can't control anyone else's depiction or outcome of a situation. I mean, that's literally like what we're saying right now. Some weird extremist people, you better not, because I will come and hunt you down.
Cut you.
But they can take our words and literally
butcher
and
make it into
a whole religion and
yeah.
be like, I praise them, and no, literally they could.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part about anything that's being put out into the world. That's why I do feel that the Muslim community, they are very mindful about what they put out as far as being artists, as far as being a doctor or anything, or accepting things, because they know that if I put this out, someone else could misinterpret it.
And so you look at the Shia, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
and that's why
I'm gonna head out.
That's different though, right?
I don't consider them. They consider themselves a sect of Islam, but Shiites have nothing to do with Islam. None of their beliefs are aligning with what the Quran says. They can't even technically read the Quran because their belief is so different.
But do they quote the Quran as what
they do?
See?
When they believe in the Quran.
See?
And that's why I
for
don't,
their benefit.
And I don't want to say stupid,
like
but
it's a
stupid religion.
How can you say that? Because it says that it's within you. And
I mean, they beat themselves and stuff, and that's why I think
whatever
it's kind of like,
right?
like why?
If it even says in that text that it is within you to whatever you believe, then they're not wrong.
Like, why are you beating yourself? Why are you walking and beating yourself?
Something that they've interpreted says you need to do that.
Yeah.
Just like praying 5 times a day.
Yeah, but that's with anything.
Catholic Church is going into the confessionals. And saying, say 35 Hail Marys.
Priests touching the little kids.
Strip club tomorrow.
But okay, now let's play a little bit of devil's advocate.
That's what we got this demon for.
Because
should have put a demon filter on.
Let's throw it up in the air, toss it, smack it, flip it around, and put it back out there. So you say that only,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I said, flip it.
Let's throw these religious cheeks in the air. Right?
Yeah, let's
Let me
let's
smack
flip
those
these
religious
cheeks on the religious side. You know what I'm saying? And we say that when it comes to religion, right? But what about all these other people who are putting out products of the world who do not believe in religion, and they're putting out songs and videos and movies? So whoever filmed the Dahmer series, maybe he thought that he was making a good deed recording this, but now I'm seeing parents dressing their kids up as Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween and putting black feet and stuff in the buckets. So we have to look at it.
Wait, they
more
put black feet in a bucket?
It was a black foot and a black hand in a bucket for Halloween. And it looked like the kid could be more than like 6 or 7. Like being like max in age. But I say that to say, when it comes to religion and things like that, as a culture, I feel like we're all so defiant to figure out like, why does this or why does that? But then we're so easy to believe in all the other things that they poison our minds with, as far as like the entertainment and being rich and being wealthy and having like this other facade of the world of, you're supposed to be happy, you're supposed to be pretty, you're supposed to be cute all the time, you're supposed to have money. What's the difference in
religion?
And that's a really great point. So
that's
I think that's what people are messing up with in our world today, is because it's been taught so much that religion and that belief in faith is the real belief in faith that you need to have, right? Mm-hmm. So as long as you're straight on that, the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. When in hindsight, like I always say, that's the thing that everybody does to ensure what happens to you when you die, which in the end of the day, no one knows that for sure until you die, right?
Yeah.
But your belief and your faith in the things that are on this planet that will lead you into how you live your life every day. How you treat people, how you decide to operate. Those are the things that I feel are most important to believe in or have faith in. And then on the back end of everything is your belief in the spiritual and all that stuff. Because that's what you're going to need, hopefully, if you're blessed enough to live 80, 90 years, then you'll have to make that, acquaintance with whoever it is that does all this. But for those 80, 90 years you're on this earth, it's all about what you believe in and the faith you have on what happens here.
And that's what I say too. Yeah. And I think that's a subject that me and my dad go back and forth all the time. What up? My dad believes in, heaven and hell, and I don't. And my dad just kind of like baffles, like, what do you mean you don't believe in heaven and hell? And I'm like, I just don't believe in heaven and hell.
It's here.
My dad. Yes. I feel like it's our own eternal battle.
Did we talk about that when you and I
probably
did the show?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I think we've talked about this before.
It was I've really been doing a lot of soul searching, man. A lot of soul searching. And my wife and I on the trip to Kentucky had, I think, one of the greatest soul filling and like figuring it out conversations that we've ever had. And I really started thinking about it like it is a matter of how you perceive this world, which is your heaven or hell. Because that drive, so I put it this way, when we were driving on that desolate, wood-ridden road, there was trees and it was fall and they were changing colors and all that, right? And the way I put it was, this is a 6-hour drive. We're 3 hours into it, right? For somebody that's in the same car with me, this could be hell. They could hate seeing nature like this. They could hate sitting in this car. They could hate they could be car sick right now. They could hate the music that's on. It could be the worst thing on the planet. Yeah. But for someone like me who enjoys nature and the solitude of being on the road and all that, it could be absolute heaven. Yeah. And I know that's just one little small example, but if you expand life out, and how people live their lives to everyone, they're just like saying one man's trash is another man's treasure. It's the perception of how you live your life that makes this place heaven, hell, and purgatory. And
I think that is so I believe in reincarnation, right?
I do as well.
I believe that you come back, and I think the people that are content with life and figure out what life is.
Because don't tell me I'm gonna come back as no net. My life
depends on what you do in this life.
Don't tell me I'm coming back as no fly and no bumblebee.
Okay, I believe that's what.
Come back as a rat because of what you did in this life. Okay.
I know he's gonna be a rat
says
because right
rats
now he
ain't
a
living the
little
greatest
mouth.
life in the
You
world.
just don't know. Depends on your perspective.
If you're a human, you think a rat's life sucks.
But when you're a rat,
if you're an ant, you're like, dang, I wish I was a rat. You're a big rat dog in the zoo.
that's what I mean. So I believe in reincarnation as your soul comes back.
Yes,
right?
I
Your
believe
soul
so.
comes back because there's a lesson for you to learn and there's something for you to grasp from life. And you keep coming back until you figure out what that is. And I feel like people that come back more so than others are the people that are content with little to nothing in life.
Wait
versus.
Hold on, we gotta take a pause real quick.
Oh.
It is 5:40. Guess you see who just now got here?
Who just got here?
Baloney dip.
Baloney dip just now showed up.
Oh, baloney dip.
It's kind of scientific though. You can't destroy matter and energy. When your body dies, where does it go? Back into the earth. He said.
Wait, what does it say?
Baloney dip said, speaking of reincarnation,
It's kind of scientific though. You can't destroy matter and energy when your body dies. Where does it go? That's true. And you know, there has been certain studies done on the human body.
But who says you can't destroy energy and matter?
Science.
Who created science?
Scientists.
Right. Who was the first scientist?
Scientists.
So we're just gonna believe his word? Like you get how we can jump
But
into
when you
like every rabbit
experiments in
hole.
school to prove that these
You know
things
what
are
I'm
right. That's the difference between science and religion.
But who
You
proves
can
that
prove science. You cannot prove religion.
But who's to say that every science experiment was not done improperly to get the right answer?
Oh, it was all, everything was done improperly.
What if it still
for
failed?
us?
What if no one ever has still
But the
found
way
the
that it
answer?
fails is what you call success.
Yes.
So who I can't remember who said it. It was somebody I know.
I
It
mean, we
wasn't
can do
even
this
like
all day. Like you know,
somebody
like,
I know put it on. Who was it? Was it Ron? My homeboy Ron, I think it was. And he said, if your intention was to fail and you succeed, then did you fail
or did you succeed?
And I was like, that is so incredibly interesting because you know how people say happy mistakes or like something that exists now was made out of an accident, and they were like, oh, well, that actually works really well.
I want to say
that's a good experiment right there.
What kind of experiment were y'all doing?
Like, it wasn't intended for them to come.
They were like, let's see if the science really works.
The wrong person came.
Oh, goodness.
Where y'all come from?
Yeah, I mean, but that's
Smokey Jones says, read a book named Journey of Souls.
Okay.
He said it's a book on a case study of people who are guided through parts.
Best life under hypnosis.
And I believe that.
I've seen a documentary like
now,
that.
what if we are being hypnotized when we watch certain news channels and media?
It's true.
And I'm saying,
I believe
hypnosis doesn't work the way you think it does.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been hypnotized before.
And it's very slick how they do it. Like you won't even know that you're in a hypnosis state. What if Kanye West is hypnotized right now?
Yeah.
What if he's hypnotizing us?
No.
What if he was hypnotized before and this is the real?
He's in the sunken place and they're controlling him.
He just woke up.
Because that's why he was fat and had to get lights
Wait
on.
a minute. No, I know. So you're saying he was hypnotized the whole time and he just came out of that?
Now he just came out of it. And now he's trying to tell us the truth.
But everything that he saw while he was in the sunken place. Like, I saw this, they did this, and they did that. Like,
crazy. Here's what I'll tell you too, though.
Oh, mind blown right now.
Wait, no, check this out. I know this might take us into a whole different place, but here's the funny thing about reality and about finding certain things out. Why I tell people when I came home from both wars and they ask me, "What did you see?" or "Did you kill anybody?" They ask me these questions.
They ask you these
things. People ask me that all the time.
Did you kill people?
One of the biggest. Am I responsible for some deaths? I can tell you.
Are you
do you
for
really
real
want
right
to
now?
know?
People ask you. No.
People ask me that all the time.
I would never ask someone that.
That's not a good question to ask somebody.
But here's the
question. Because I mean, people think like just because if you kill somebody, like, oh, I should be proud.
Oh, it's cool. Like,
you kill him in a life.
But oh, thank you, Smokey.
Oh, thanks, Smoke. I always ask people, what reality or what answer to a question would change your life, right? And what I mean by that is there's a certain set of knowing reality versus the possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain realities and there's certain things that do exist today. Like, for instance, I ask people, do you believe in ghosts? And they're like, no. I go, okay, well, hypothetically, if you were to see a ghost or a human being just appear out of nowhere, what would it do to your mental state? Like, I'd probably go I wouldn't know what to believe anymore. I would be shooken, right? So to tie it all in, that's what belief and faith and religion is supposed to be doing for people, and it makes them know what's real and what's tangible in their life. But if you know certain things, if I can prove to you certain things that you think are impossible, then everything breaks.
He's right.
Everything shatters,
by putting
right?
the miracles
right.
and giving you these stories.
So it is quite possible that whatever Kanye has gone through, I always say, being a billionaire has got to be a different life.
Yeah, because you're exposed to certain
so many things. Like just me being in the military and going overseas, I had access to so many things that like I wish I didn't.
Like he was getting VIP access to stuff.
Yeah, it's certain things that like once you see, like you can't unsee. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so think about it in a layman's lower term, right? Think about when you find out your mate is cheating and you saw text message or videos. It's certain things that you or you walked in on. It's certain things that you can't unsee. As much as you try to, you never thought that this person would do you like this or you know do these things. So it shakes your faith on all relationships. So therefore, it's the same thing. Dumbing it down for you.
So it's true. We don't know what he may have come in contact with that's got him, and that doesn't make him crazy. He's just speaking a way that none of us.
And sometimes, have you ever like seen somebody like you said when they're running out of a haunted house, or like a kid that just gets scared, and they're shook, and they don't even know how to tell you the full story because their brain is moving so fast. It's like, oh my god, I saw this, and then this happened, and that happened, and that's what's happening right now. And he's telling so many stories to where it sounds like
Kanye
he's
is saying,
but it's like some of the pieces are falling.
Some of the stuff he's saying is crazy. Like
some of the stuff he's saying is stuff that people have been saying for years. They just did not have the kahunas to say it online or to say it to someone like that.
Yeah.
Smokey Joe said, imagine if you were a ghost, for some being that sensitive to your presence, but you have not level of awareness of his existence.
Right.
I don't understand that. Maybe I'm a little dyslexic.
Explain.
Imagine if you were a ghost. A ghost.
I'm a ghost.
Yes.
A ghost. For some being that sensitive to your presence, but you have not level of awareness of his existence.
Oh, it's like the sunken place. I get it now.
Right.
Yeah.
So like you're here, but you're really not here because your mental is somewhere else. Am I
grasping that right?
I hope so.
But yeah, I think with Kanye, you know, what he's saying is what he's been noticing over the years of his fame, but he just wasn't able to say it because people probably told him
he was in contract.
I think this whole situation could have been avoided. I think the way he said that, he said it for shock and awe, but his point was not to be what it is, and it got taken. It got taken so.
But he's been feeling this way for a long time,
right? But he was talking about, if I'm reading into this all correctly, he was talking about, and it's not an unknown thing that there are Jewish people run most of the banks, correct? And
most everything in America, in the world.
And as a billionaire, he has had to deal with
a lot of Jewish
bankers and these Jewish owned.
Something that us don't. Damn, our life ended.
We start talking about Jewish people in the banks and they cut our life all the way off.
Oh, I know for me, they're watching my stuff. I don't know what y'all thought. I told you. I'm a Palestinian out here in these streets.
As soon as I started breaking down the ring, I didn't get no warning or nothing.
They shut me off. Wow. I told you cannot talk about the Jews. The Jews are
it's probably not even going to let you share that
that
video.
one goes away.
No.
If it shuts off like that.
Wow.
So what do you let you doubt? Wow.
That's a trip.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow, Graham.
Well, guess
you on the Jewish people side.
Guess who still got it?
Wow.
YouTube, our website, our
website,
everything.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Wow, the hate is real.
Oh no.
Y'all see that?
Okay, so wait, you went live on yours.
Well, y'all want to go now? Join y'all?
Wait, isn't it the same though? Because doesn't pop up on all of our timelines. That's one live.
Yeah.
So, did you go live?
You
just went live right now?
Wow.
Oh, invite me then.
So that's another thing too. Y'all gotta be on here first.
Okay, there we go.
So that's another thing too. A lot of people, a lot of these celebrities and stuff now have been mentioning this and talking about this. How Instagram is doing that.
Censorship.
Oh man, the censorship is real.
It's crazy.
I already know censorship is real because
that's my nephew Summer in August.
What up, Summer? I always post Palestinian posts, and I bet you guys don't even see it on my
time. Who's muting Mike? Okay, mine's.
I think I muted last time. You stay on, Shay?
I stay on? Okay. I'll stay on.
Yours is on? Okay, so.
Okay, so for y'all that's just joining back into here.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
We got
we started talking about religion, Jewish people owning banks,
and Kanye,
and all of a sudden,
our life got disconnected.
All of our lives got disconnected.
All of them.
all of them.
But see, this is what I was just telling y'all. So
Oh.
I post on my story a lot of stories about Palestine and Israel, and not half of my friends see them. So my story will go 150 views, 12 views, 150 views. They are literally skipping my stories when I post about Palestine.
Oh, yeah.
Or is it not popping up?
No, my sister would
Shay
literally
in the
click
morning.
on my stuff and what up, Max? And when they see it, they don't see that story. It literally goes to the next story.
That's terrible.
And me and my sister do this all the
Jay
time.
said,
That
didn't
means-
I not post this earlier?
That means that
It's real.
Instagram.
Yeah,
is,
see, my sister was
it's so
talking
real.
about that because me and my sister post a lot about Palestine and what goes on there because our family
the
lives
dank
there.
trees. Is
The
that?
maybe,
Dantress.
maybe
Oh,
we
the
should call it.
Dantress.
Look, the way that was
Hi,
written out,
sis.
it looks like Jewish.
She
we
did that
should-
so
We
they
should
don't
just start
block you.
calling them Jewish,
Jewish.
Yes.
and they
That's
would never
the
know
Jewish.
they're Jewish.
Yeah, so
That's
she
Jewish.
was
Yeah, that's
saying that
what I'm
earlier.
about.
Every time we post something about Palestine, either we get flagged on Instagram or
It
Instagram
was
just
the
doesn't show my
The
page.
second I said Jewish,
Jewish.
people run the
Jewish.
banks and Jewish
Let's just say
people,
Jew.
it say
Let's say the
Jew.
Jew.
Deja.
les Jews.
The Jew.
Pleasure.
That was wild. And I've seen people talking about
They
it
said
recently, how this happens, and I've seen them talking, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. And this is the first time that's happened.
Yes.
And
And for
before
all three of ours to shut off like
Mine was
and
definitely
before
shut
you-
off
and
first.
Before you say your comment, I want to also say, even think about Nick Cannon. He
yeah.
didn't even say anything disrespectful.
Mm-mm.
He just gave a different opinion.
It don't
and
matter.
His opinion, and look what happened to his shows. They
Right.
pulled his own show. They
Yeah.
said you can't even own Wild and
You
Out
can't
no
own
more.
your own show.
Like,
Because who runs all these
Well,
shows?
contractually,
Gee,
that probably wasn't his
she,
show.
Gee, we
They
or
leave.
some would say sweet as fish.
Oh,
No,
we
because
should
that's gonna
call them
make it even talk about
Swedish.
Swedish people.
But then people,
Oh,
Swedish,
you're
yeah,
right.
Swedish
Right.
people gonna get offended.
So what I was saying was the Jews are
They run
running
the
these
video
banks
companies,
and
right.
running, they run the money of America
Everything.
for the most part. And as a billionaire, all you do is deal with them, with
Yeah,
the banks
yeah,
and with the loans
yeah.
and with all that stuff. So
all
what
he
he
did was
was-
speak his
what he
mind of
was
what
trying
happened
to
to him.
do was tell everybody what was really happening on the billionaire realm,
Yeah.
the 1% realm of the world.
Yeah.
And now it's like it's the hugest smear campaign in the world. Does he sound crazy? Absolutely.
He sounds crazy to people that don't want to know
No.
the truth.
No,
No, he
no.
sounds crazy because
His-
that's always been his deliverance. If
His-
you've
Okay,
ever
but I
heard
have a
Kanye,
theory
Kanye
about
has
crazy
never been
people.
No,
able to
but
deliver
I have a
a
theory about
story
crazy
Before you say that,
in Tyson.
I'm
he's
gonna hold
always
mine.
talked like this.
I've
Yeah.
heard
Like you
your
said.
theory.
Always talk like this. But when he's talking about something that doesn't matter, or talking about big
We
booties
talking
or
about
hip-hop,
Pete Davidson and all that.
when he's talking about that, the way he talks doesn't bother people.
Mhm.
It's when he starts to people that have something to hide or have something to lose. When someone who's just saying anything and everything starts to talk about your business,
Yep.
then there's nothing they won't say.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain things that he probably knows that they're like he won't tell that.
Oh, he
that's like But when he starts just telling everything, they're like, wait a minute, he might spill these beans too.
And what we also have to look at is a lot of the times we know this. We can edit out as media. We can edit out and take out us asking a question and make it like this person just jumped to a whole
jumped
other
into it.
conversation.
Yeah, and edit
You
his
know, it's
interviews.
like-
They do that all the time.
We can edit my whole talking out and it'll just jump to you to be like,
Yeah.
and then people are like, why are they just
I
jumping
went
like
Yeah,
to
don't
that?
think
school
we're
Like,
crazy.
for audio manipulation.
Exactly.
I could make you say whatever I want. if I took
and the
this
deep fakes that they got coming out, like it's crazy.
Let me say too,
Andrew,
we're not like a pro Kanye
No,
show.
we're not.
We're not just
We're
backing
pro
Kanye.
I'm pro
advocates.
Kanye.
We're
Me
pro
too.
media saying what really is being said, and pro media showing the truth of things and not just floating their narratives. Like here on this show, we don't just take one side of anything
Nope.
that happens. Even
We
if
dissect
even
everything.
if the three of us fully
Agree.
believe exactly what's happening, you're never going to hear this show
We
tell
dissected
you, well,
everything.
this is what's
baby.
happening for sure. And blah, believe this, believe this. We're going to
We're
tell
gonna give you
everything.
87 different
Right.
viewpoints of it.
So if you see Nino Banks in an interview talking, wow, we're gonna talk about every part of that interview,
Yeah.
not just Nino
Just that
saying
one,
the Good Time Show
Yeah.
sucked. We hate Nino.
I wish he would.
He
And
might
we gonna
say-
and we gonna give him
We're
a
banning him.
we gonna bring him on the show and we gonna jump him.
Yeah.
we gonna clear it up.
We gonna
Figure
clear
out
it
why he
up.
said it, then we gonna jump him.
We're gonna take a flight to
My
the Middle
fam,
East.
Jirani said the Jews wasn't
Stand behind
offended
us.
when they were screwing over people in contracts.
Okay.
Have the Jews donated to blacks when cops was killing
Nope.
us?
They didn't even stand with the black people.
Danger said, drama don't get reported now.
Right.
Y'all know they don't play.
The Dangers know.
Here's the thing, though.
He said white people and Jews stayed quiet when slavery was a choice.
Yeah.
I love that. But the best thing blacks can do right now is stand behind and support Kanye. Nah, I don't believe in that. What I believe is
getting him help.
All of these black billionaires, right, that Jay-Z was bragging about, Bron, Riri, Jay-Z himself, Kanye. If y'all got all these billions of dollars, why are you not making a black-owned bank to give black people loans to take out of the hands of the Jewish?
Because that's also in the Jewish people hand.
From personal experience and you know, in the working clinic, it is so hard
to start a bank.
To say goodbye.
It's the most ridiculous process.
It is controlled by families.
It's left down in trust.
Yeah.
And it's not something that you can just buy. You have to have the right license and all those kinds of things. Like, it's one of those things that people don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, even all the money that all the black billionaires total up. If we equaled up a Bron,
don't matter.
It's not even gonna equal.
It ain't gonna equal 10% of what they got.
Of what they got.
That's fine, but I'm not saying open up these.
The Rothschild and Rother.
But we don't even have 20% of the funds to even start a bank of what it should be.
So maybe it doesn't have to be a brick and mortar bank like all these other banks are. You can find a way. You can find a way to have a trust,
like a Bitcoin or something.
You can put a trust
together
do it. that gives these grants out to these businesses or families.
Who's going to support these grants?
The billionaires are.
Which ones?
All of them.
But who's going to fund them?
Yeah.
The Jews
but that's what I'm saying.
and the other
but
people cut their check.
But hear me out though. Everybody's talking about all black people need to stand behind. Well, okay, why aren't they standing behind us then? Why should I support this billionaire black dude and everything he says? He ain't putting a dollar in my account.
No, that's true. That's 100% true.
So if y'all got all this money, everybody talks about all the rich doing all of this. Right? Somebody should be kicking me back some money. Okay, if anybody's got to kick us back some money, it should be the blacks that have excelled to billions and super millions of dollars.
But the problem is, they didn't get there by their people supporting them.
Mm-mm.
So
who supported them?
The Jewish.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Just like Trump.
Okay, but look at this. How am I gonna cut off this to give y'all money? How am I gonna get that money back? Because y'all not gonna rock with me, and that's the problem. Our people don't stick together and give. So one thing about it, if you look at the statistics and everything else, the black dollar is the only dollar that is not recycled in every religion. The Jewish dollar recycles.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at every other Japan
community, all of
their dollars recycle.
Like Nino said, it's happened, and every time we tried, they destroy it. Which
I
know. But But should we not still continue to try?
I feel like people are trying, and they're trying silently to kind of finagle. That's why you have LeBron, who built the school and opened up the school.
I agree. I'm not
because we're trying to do it on a lower level. Because if you just come out and like,
tried, but my point is, if they're like, it just irritates me that the people that have made it to these levels, right? They're like, well, you all have to support me, or I'm not going to be able to continue doing and I'm like, well, at the end of the day, I got to take care of my own family, and me supporting you. I don't have $1,000 to buy no damn Yeezys or Akon. Okay, Akon definitely.
Yeah,
Akon, that's what I'm saying.
But he's going to Africa.
That's supposed to be who we truly are.
Right. But what I'm saying is, Africa don't
have the same sanctions.
Yeah, they don't have the same.
But you know why, though, Princess? I think it's because people that grow up in different countries have a sense of belonging there, right? So like Akon grew up over there, so he has pride to where he grew up at. When you come here, you lose that. As the second and third generation of immigrant people that come here, they start to lose that belonging to where they come from. So by being American here and like having a bunch of black people, they already don't feel like they belong here because white people keep telling them they don't belong.
So we're talking about how hard it is to start a bank here with all the sanctions and permits and all that. The richest people on the planet always get offshore accounts in other countries. So why don't you start an offshore bank and then give all of us an offshore bank account that America has no standing over, and then let us get our papers?
You know why?
Well, just a lot of stipulations of what legal and isn't legal.
And with the offshore accounts, a lot of people have family that live overseas that they can use their addresses and all those things.
Man,
we don't have nobody
how many
overseas.
Black people been using an auntie and a grandma address to go to school in a different
state?
I agree. But when it comes to us, they're gonna verify. I need this. I need that.
Okay, trace your 23andMe back to a different country. Find one.
I found you, cousin. They're gonna be like, yeah, send me $200.
Off some bread, right? To let me use your address to funnel this money through your crib,
and they gonna say,
but it doesn't work in every country. It's only certain countries like the Cayman Islands and things like that. So like even by me having family in the Middle East, I couldn't even do it.
Rich people in the world don't even know what money is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're so rich, they don't care.
You know, most of the time you get that rich, you don't even.
And honestly, there's really I tried to look up to see. I mean, it gave me like the top 15, but I don't even think that there's more than 20 Black billionaires.
No, it's probably not.
And when I say billionaires, I mean like that's how much is actually sitting in their account.
Mm-hmm.
Being worth $1 billion and having
$1 billion is two different things.
It's two different things.
Having liquidity at $1 billion is.
And I feel like a lot of Black people are worth $1 billion, but they don't actually have $1 billion.
So I think a lot of this that I'm saying today too comes from I've been watching Queen Sugar trying to catch up on that. And there's I'm at the part where they start the co-op.
Yes.
That was the dopest thing in the world. So they all got these settlements, right? So there was like 21.
But look at how many people did not want to join that co-op.
Well, because they're like, this isn't a short bet. And there's so many.
But you got to start somewhere.
And that's what I'm saying. Okay, perfect. And that's what I'm saying right now. Worldwide, if it was a global Black people crisis and we all wanted to get together and be together, whatever the case may be, and we all pooled our funds for a greater good to overthrow what the balance of power is in, as far as race goes or whatnot. If it was the Jewistas need to not be in power of money, it needs to be Black people. Okay, then every Black person on the planet that does believe in this, we need to all pool our money, including these billionaires.
Yeah.
And we need to start our own whatevers to get it out of the hands of the people we don't trust and believe in. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not.
Do you know what's the biggest factor in this? Every bank is federally insured. How are you going to get that federally insured bank without the Jewish people on your side?
Well, okay, but that makes no sense though. Federally insured, right? So, so think about it this way. I got a VA loan.
Epstein is a bad example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dangerous. We don't even want to claim relations in him and Oprah. You know?
Like, what's
BFF with Epstein. That's true.
The topic is Jewish and banks and
and everything that's going on in the world. And you know, and this topic also goes into, I hate to always bring him up again, but it goes into that other topic when he had the White Lives Matter shirt. You know what I'm saying? Because as much as this is a community thing, but white lives do matter because there are other cultures and other races that have helped us try to get these type of things informed and in place. And as much as
we've had allies.
It's about having great allies. And as much as should be, you know, Black people supporting each other, it honestly should just be everybody supporting each other, because at the end of the day, it is about a unity and everybody working together. You work smarter, not harder. And if everybody just came together to just care and be courteous and fair, we wouldn't have these problems.
So I'm going to pin this comment just because I want. Okay. I was thinking about this the other day too, and I'll go into this a little bit. We just need to leave America. We keep them going. If we all went to our respective country, homelands, America would fall in days. I was thinking about that because I've been watching Handmaid's Tale.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Right. So I was thinking about that and going into, everybody's like, oh, I hate America. And me being someone who fought in 2 wars, like, do I believe in why we were there and all that? No, absolutely not. But that's beside the point, right? So I did fight for this country, whatever the case may be. I guarantee you, if you looked up your country of origin, those countries that you're supposedly from
are worse than here.
Not even that they're worse than here. Most of them, yes, that is true. But the people that are from those countries won't be like, yes, my brothers.
Oh, yeah,
come back. They're going to look at you the same.
Bring that crap over here.
We are American.
We were just talking about this today when I was working earlier.
This is our country. This is where we're from.
Yeah, one of the Black guys there, he was saying, you know, the other guy was African. And one guy was African, one guy was Black, and the lady that was talking to them both was Hispanic. And she was saying something. She's like, he's Black like you. And the African man got upset.
Like,
the African man was like, this was today at work. And the African dude was like, I am not black. I am African. And the lady was like, what? Like, that don't make no sense. But he was like, we're different. Yeah. He was looking at the black man and he said, we're different. So they don't look at you the same for you to come back. They don't even look at me the same to come back to my country.
In any overseas country that I've ever seen or heard of, if you and I were walking with an African descended person, they would say Americans, African. They wouldn't call all three of us black.
No. And especially people that live there.
He said because we don't bring money and help and build, we need to build our own countries. And I agree. And I see that you're listening.
We built this one.
You're listening to Black billionaires. And you're right. There are a few Black billionaires. But
put them all on a petition. Let's put this
now my Google search may be telling me something different, but I want all of you guys to Google how many Black billionaires there are. Because, Google likes to complain, okay? But it says there are 2,755 billionaires in the world, but only 15 are Black.
Sheesh.
Now,
so that's not even 1%. So those names that you're naming.
What Black are we talking? Because Femi Otedola, that don't sound like Black. That sounds African or of African descent. So are we talking African descent, born in Africa, making money here? Or are we talking American citizen Black? Are we talking American Negro, not African American, not?
And again,
and we're not saying it's not possible. We're just saying that it's what Princess was trying to do right now is show, because he's like naming off people. What Princess is trying to do is show you the ratio of how many rich billionaires that are non-Black versus the small ratio of how many of them are actually Black. But that only
matters, like this, the difference and the discrepancy between how many is only a matter if we're pooling money against each other. So if you're saying there's only 20 billionaires on the Black side versus this many on the white side, is it a clash of, like, are we going to legal standing?
But no, what I'm saying is, even if we added up every 15 Black billionaires, we wouldn't even make what one of those other billionaires made to be able to open up anything.
Because all we need to do is be able to support us, not them too. It's not open to everybody. It's just a Black thing to
but the problem is, I guarantee
you, you're going to segregate that now.
But I mean,
what percentage Black do you have to be?
But that's what I'm trying to.
Like, would your kids be able to go there? That's like, this is what I would want.
My kids,
like if your kids is
less
half,
than 50%, if you're 50%,
see, but how are you going to determine that?
That would have to be written down in paper.
Yeah.
But my point is this. Here's my point.
Are we doing DNA swabs?
We have to.
No, because this will take you back to the olden days. I feel like this is taking you back to segregation days.
A brown paper bag.
Like, you're gonna have to tell somebody who is maybe a quarter Black that they're not Black enough.
The white banks are going to support you because you're not Black enough to have the disparity.
But on paper, their name is
Deshante, that's their mama.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Don't like your middle name, bro.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you're not
going
to be able to do this successfully because you're going to have to establish what Black means.
Then we need to stop arguing and worrying about what the Jewish are doing in the banks and the whites are doing us. If we're not going to assemble ourselves and do something for ourselves, then why complain?
Now, if minorities join, like if Mexicans,
you're just trying to
and
get in
Arabs, and Black,
okay, so listen,
and Asians.
So, in a sense, this is what I technically feel. Okay, I feel like at any point in time. Okay, let me retract because now I'm about to sound like Kanye spilling out stuff.
Go ahead, Kanye.
Say it, girl. Say it.
People of the melanin color, biracial descent are always going to be different.
Yes.
We've been different. That's why they oppressed against us. That's why they tried to set up every trap for us to fail because they know our potential and they're scared of our potential.
And especially when we join forces as minorities.
So with that being said, we have to stop trying to play on the same playing field as them and learn how to play a defense game, but still win.
Right.
Because at this point in time, I'm not saying that it can never happen, but at this point in time in 2022, with everything that's happened, we can't open up Black banks. We can't give loans. Black people are not in that position. But what we can do is go to school, get equipped enough to work into their banks, to be able to give to our people from their banks. One thing that I love that Ice Cube said in that one movie, 21 Jump Street, infiltrate the dealer, find the supplier.
Okay, find the supplier.
That is the life motto.
Yeah.
Our job is to go to school, become a judge, so that we can change the system. Because if we can't change,
but then again, you get people like
Carson
and up there, and James Johns or whatever his name is.
You have to go deep. Like you would have to go to. You have to get enough black people into offices that can change legislature.
And that's what I'm saying.
We put a black president in, and look what they did to him.
But it's because the president was, but the people underneath him was.
That's what I mean. Look what they did to him.
Decision makers did nothing.
No.
So that's why.
He was put in that office for optics.
Exactly. We
just
need
like
to
absolutely. Come on, yeah.
She ran on the whole biracial thing, and then when she got in, she passed the Asian bill for her people, not the anti-lynching bill for the black people that she ran on. But that's why we have to encourage our kids to be senators and doctors and lawyers and judges instead of just being the average basketball player.
But then we're gonna get big
player.
But here's the problem, though. They have this system set up, right? Do you really think they would ever allow that to happen?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
How? You think you'd have a majority black Senate or a majority black, what's it called, Supreme Court?
That's not when half of the minorities don't get out and vote. Yeah. Because they don't believe that their vote counts.
Didn't Hillary Clinton win that vote against Trump in the popular election?
That's what I mean.
She won by votes,
when you
right?
start to see how the voting system works, people don't want to go out and vote.
College thing and all that. Okay, so it doesn't matter if every black person on the planet went and voted for one person; it still wouldn't matter.
But that's why I'm also saying that it's not always just about blacks. That's why.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm saying that's why I still believe white lives do matter, because all it takes is a few people of other descents and other cultures to still believe in us, still understand that right is right and wrong is wrong, for them to make that vote, for them to make that decision.
And that's really what I'm saying too. He said we need to understand we would never win here. And I think, and that's why for me, people get mad at me because I don't fight more for my blackness and I don't stand behind black. I stand behind my people by being as successful as I can be. And when I can affect change at whatever level I can affect change, and maybe it's just us having this show and speaking real shit and telling real knowledge about certain things that our black people wouldn't find anywhere else or will be made to pay for, or they've been given illusions in their certain hoods or whatever that we can shatter.
We get no benefit.
That may be what I can do. I don't monetarily have, and maybe like you're saying, these 20 billionaires, and that's the sad part. These 20 billionaires together, pulling their money together, isn't even enough money to save our people. So I feel like being intelligent and reading into and knowing and learning how the game works, what the box is, so that our people can think outside of the box a little more, and we can start to create a different generational flow of
this new generation needs to be different.
Absolutely.
And that's the bottom line of it. We have to change, and we have to be the ones to rewrite history. Because if we're looking for people who are already content with their lives to change we're going to be waiting forever. You know what I'm saying? We have to be the ones that's leaving things behind for our kids and kids for them to be able to implement. When you look at the Hilton sisters, they're not rich because of something they did. They're rich because their grandfather, grandfather left something behind, and they were just taught, okay, this is how you take care of it. This is how you invest it. Most of these billionaires were left it. Donald Trump, he was left the inheritance. You think his granddad or his daddy is proud of what he's out here doing and saying? They probably like, this fool is tearing down the legacy.
Okay, so these two comments back to back are, I think they say a lot. Yes, we built this, but we have already let them take it, and the fight has become pointless because we just fighting ourselves, which is absolutely true.
Where are you reading all this? None of these are popping up on mine.
Oh, see, now she got what I had yesterday.
And then AWD Donuts, which is my homeboy Justin, he says, I disagree. Y'all can and should be winning. Just got to get black culture switched up, like Denzel and Cube say. Which to me, that's one of the hugest things that makes me so irritated when we even have these conversations about black culture, because a lot of our black culture is the gang and hood and killing each other and selling drugs to each other and all that stuff. Which I feel like until that completely goes away and we all, and the majority of us are all standing together, then every other culture is gonna win because they don't have to do shit but watch us kill ourselves or entice us to kill ourselves or throw somebody in the hood some bread or tell them they snitched and that person's off. And
there are a lot of people that be like, oh, when your people come here, they don't pay taxes for 7 years. God. I'm like, sign me up. Because where is this happening? But what people are like, well, how do you own all these gas stations? How do you get these liquor stores? Like, do you know that these people move here and they live together, like 20 of them in one house until they figure out where they're gonna go from there? It's called coming together and being a family.
That's true.
And building those things. Yeah. So like you stay with me, all you gotta do is pay $100 in rent versus on your own $2,000. We're all together in this.
Whereas in the Black culture is, I want to be out my house as soon as I turn 18.
Oh, I want y'all out of here by 18.
I want to be independent. I want to go pay $1,500 for some rent and gas and groceries.
I did that because I was stupid. I did that
because I'm just dumb. Boy, if you don't sit your father down somewhere.
Independence thing and want to do everybody. They sell you independence. They sell you independence as if it's the greatest thing on the planet. When in fact it's togetherness. It's unity.
It's unity. It's what's going to bring us together.
Let me expand this because I can't sit up here on this chair and just preach pro-blackness. My wife's a white woman and my kids are mixed.
That doesn't mean anything.
But I'm saying
doesn't make
just
you
to clarify,
black.
to clarify, right? So I truly believe that as a country, if we could all be one and unified, it would be the greatest thing on the planet. Our country itself would thrive so much more than all of the division. But the division keeps us from becoming that true superpower. Yeah. So all the other countries,
because we're all separate.
All these
you
other countries
be in your
are
own.
So happy that we're dividing.
And that's why I feel that everything should not be a race.
But it is.
And I know it shouldn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It should not. But I still feel like that's just the hard part because you have mixed babies. So if they grow up and they want to preach for Black rights and all those things, because they're
gonna get looked at.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and that's what I was saying.
But they are 50% Black because that's your
Black
half.
as a lot of
and because they don't have the hair texture or the skin for it, they're not going to be able to stand up for what is right. Like that's ridiculous.
Like I said on a past show, I'm happy they came out how they came out because from the jump they don't have the chains and restraints that I have just because my skin
because your skin color.
They'll be able to get in more doors and they'll be able to walk more freely down more streets than I ever have been or ever will.
They don't have to break stereotypes that you had to deal with growing up.
Prove themselves to get what's just. They'll be given what's just to begin.
You're 100% right.
And I love that for them.
And that is the one thing I can always say.
That enough.
No, one thing that I can always say about Black people learning the Black culture and stuff like that growing up here is that as a Black person, you walk into a room and you have to defy the stereotypes that people have of you already. So the minute you walk in, people have a perception of you, and then you have to in turn
not just in a room full of people
anywhere
in a room full of Black people. Most of the time, it's worse.
It's worse because of how you dress and how you talk.
Before you even respect
absolutely.
And that's just
you gotta shoot the niggas.
That's the hard part. So you can say that like, oh, that's the privilege for your kids, but I have 3 Black boys who don't have that privilege. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have whole different lives, and that's why I say like it just depends on good people being good people. Because who's to say that your boys who have the complexion to pass, but they also have the background history of Black families and knowing the struggle can't help out my boys and change the world. That's why I'm saying that it just depends on people having good hearts and knowing right from wrong, because that's all it takes. Someone's white side to change the Blackness of the wrongness, and that's all it should ever have been about. It doesn't matter
who speaks up, and that is one thing. Like if a white person was to get up there and be like, Black Lives Matter, you guys, we shouldn't actually swear that out. We'd be like, oh, shut your white ass up. What do you? Yeah, but it's like, what if this person really felt that way? What if this person?
But who stays in a place where he said?
I was gonna say, who stays in a place where we're not like. We don't like you. We don't like ourselves.
Exactly. Who doesn't like it?
The system is made, and this is fact. This ain't my opinion. The system is made to keep Blacks down.
He said it's blocked. Oh, he said it froze. See, y'all, they might be trying to block us off again.
Probably. Oh, he said there we go. We're good. This is starting with like redlining and Blacks not being able to get in certain neighborhoods and all that. Like it is in text. It is in legislature that we are supposed to be not given the same freedoms and opportunities as whites. That's in literature. Nobody can say that's false. So the only way to truly give us the same footing is to change that legislation. But we're not going to be able to. They're not going to let enough of us in there to be able to change that. So you're saying we should, there's got to be an advocate that gets up there and is able to change that. And that's not on our people.
That's have to be a white person.
In every war,
they're not listening.
There was the people who won the war always had a good ally. You have to have a good ally.
On that same tip, though, saying why do we stay somewhere we're not liked? We're Americans.
We're not liked from the get-go.
We're not liked anywhere. We can't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's true.
Even in watching *Handmaid's Tale*, it was so funny how they threw this shit in there too. Because they're American refugees that's fled from Gilead, right? America's dying. The Canadians are like, go home, get out of our country. They're like picketing, like throwing stuff at them. I'm like,
sounds like country music.
Ain't that funny how that works?
Eastside Ace Boogie said,
"Hey,
we ain't even here."
But I said it to say like it all has to boil down because, like you said, stay somewhere that you're not like. We don't even like each other. Like me personally, and I'm telling you from a person who went to a school with predominantly white people, like, oh, he said, hey, princess. I've never personally encountered any racism face to face, hand in hand.
Really?
With the kids that I went to school with. With the kids that I went to school with.
Oh,
because they all knew me. Yeah. Now, there were other people who I've seen and made comments, whatever the case, but it wasn't to my face. But that's why you have to be careful with who you surround yourself by, whether it's black, white, Puerto Rican, purple, orange, green, blue. Like you just have to surround yourself of better people. I have met some different cultures and races of people who would have given me the shirt off of their back if I needed it.
Like, that's why I say,
about your race. Would they let you date their son though? Probably not. I had a situation where in my school I had the same thing. I was at a predominantly white school. I was a homecoming king. I was loved by whoever else, and all these people's parents loved me.
They called you token,
but they did call me token, which I thought was funny back then. I came from Germany and England. I didn't know what racism or any of that stuff was. But there was a situation where I was into a female who was white, and was at her house all the time, eating dinner with her and all that, and I wanted to date her. And they found out, and they sat me down as we were eating dinner. We really like you a lot. We love you.
You just don't qualify for the position.
But we're just not comfortable.
Your credentials,
we're not
background,
comfortable with you dating our daughter. We just believe you shouldn't date outside your race.
But you know what?
But they said it so respectfully.
Okay, so
come on.
To a certain extent. And I'm going to tread this very lightly. I do see why certain cultures and certain races choose and make their cultures and races have children within the same race. It's to reproduce and to keep that race alive. If you look at all the races and all the cultures, the Black race is decreasing at a faster pace than every other culture and race out here. We're watering it down to where there is not going to be many full African.
White people right now. There is not full-blooded white people.
Yeah, and that's true. So I see why certain cultures will say, no, you need to have this amount of babies to keep our race alive before marrying outside the culture. I know that sounds so dumb, but it's
my culture does that too, and it's so dumb. Even when my dad wanted to marry my mom,
you get money still to this day here. You have to be a certain percent Native American.
You get that, yeah. But what I'm saying is, even in my culture, to marry from another country is a big deal. So it's stupid to me. At the end of the day, I feel like if God wanted you to be one race, He would have made us all look the same.
Wait a minute.
And He would have made us whatever God you believe in. If we were supposed to all be the same, we would have all been created the same exact way.
At one point we were, according to the Bible or whatever is this.
The Bible's a lie.
The Tower of whatever it's called.
The who?
It was called the Tower of something, and it was a tower that got up to the sky, close to God, or whatever. And they decided one day we were all the same people, all within the same place. they decided to try to climb the tower to get close to God and figure out.
And black people made it to the top because they climbed up.
No, and God struck everybody down off the tower, gave them all different skin colors, and made them all speak different languages.
That is
scientifically
somebody
impossible.
Please tell me what that story is. That no one of y'all knows.
That is scientifically impossible.
I heard it from somebody some religious person told me that story.
Well, it's made up.
Okay, well, it's called the Tower of something.
Because I believe that if that was scientifically, aside from religion, the reason why every race looks different is based on where you live. Your body adapts to where you live. So Middle Eastern people have they're in the middle, so they get the middle color skin, they get the melanin and blah, 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 but they don't get too much. But you move over to Africa, the weather is really hot, so the people have to have more melanin.
Christian Bible reference.
I've never heard that story.
It sounds like a fiction story. I'm sorry, but
Genesis,
what tower were they trying to climb?
11, 1-9.
And what tower were they trying to climb?
Which book was that?
The descendants of Noah all spoke a single language as they increased in number.
What book was that? It
just says the Tower of
King
Babel.
James. You know, I feel like King James in this.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I'm asking. I know the different versions.
Doesn't say.
I ain't gonna read it because it sounds like a lie.
Yeah, that's basically what it says. They decided to build a city with a tower.
And then let me guess, God punished the black people by making them black.
Ajrama said, man, I got kicked out of high school because I threw a chair at somebody that called me a racial slur. And then Nina Banks said it's because how we go there. I'm from Haiti, and they explained to me from a different perspective. So my question, a lot deeper than us liking ourselves. One day I will have time to explain a lot better.
Yeah, I love that.
We need you on the show.
Hopefully we can get you on the show. So, and I felt
all you guys that are on here
buzzers.
on IG. Well, the hard part is for us, we go on here on IG, we got a lot of you watching. If you guys all go to the YouTube and see the actual stream and you comment on there and send us your email, we would be able to invite you onto the YouTube stream.
Yes, and the link is in my bio as well.
We can't have people join on here because we are a radio show. We're broadcasting live on the radio.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be able to hear you on the IG. So if you do go on our YouTube, the 9397 Network YouTube page, and you send us your email and comment that you would like to say something, or something
let's get you on the show.
Yeah, we can bring you. That way the radio people can hear you.
Everybody can hear you. Your family can hear you. Everybody.
I was just gonna say what Ajrama said. I feel like as people, we give words power, and people only call you or say things that they can get a reaction out of you for. So I definitely feel like certain comments, and I guess for me, I've never been one to be too attached to words. No. So if people call me things, I don't really care.
That's your own opinion of it, but I'm still.
But your intention.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm like,
it's for me, intentions hurt more.
Yeah.
Like somebody can call me whatever in the book, say whatever, and I'm not gonna care. But if you try to cut me or backdoor me or those kind of things, that's what hurts me more.
Because of the intentions, it depends on who it is using certain words.
Yeah.
You know me. I live on words. I love words.
Like someone
words are my jam.
Accidentally calling me shawarma.
I had an ex-girlfriend, right, who I grew up with. I've known this girl since since elementary school. You know what I mean? Like known her forever. She grew up around all of us black dudes. She loved us, hung out with her, dated us, whatever the case may be. So I finally, in my 20s,
we were in a train.
Well,
I was gonna say, this is a train story.
She loved us. She hung around all of us.
She loved all of us.
Started
with me and then the others.
My wife was my first, but we broke up.
First ever sleeping with first train.
First ever with twins.
Anything.
First ever with twins.
My penis never even was out of my pants until I met my wife.
Right. Courtney's right.
So we broke up, and this is in my late 20s. For some reason, that was what she decided to go to last time we spoke on the phone. Like, N-word. I was like, there it is.
No. See, no.
Because people say those things to try to get a reaction out of you.
That's
not. And cool. I guess this kind of always spirals back to the beginning of it, right?
And that's like Kanye.
No, not Kanye. But for me, it goes to a higher power belief of, listen, I don't care what you say to me. You're going to have to deal with the repercussions at some point, whether it's in your life now, whether you are burning in flames in some flaming draws in hell.
Hey.
You have to,
or if you come back as a brat.
exactly. Like you have to deal with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how much hate you feel towards me, all I can do is control my reaction.
That's
all
true.
I can do is control how I react, how I process, how I do things. Because if I reacted, I'm just giving you the satisfaction of what you thought I was
100%.
to begin with.
See, but I want my gratification.
Me too. I'm gonna beat your ass and then we can talk about
Not
it.
even just
Oh
that.
my gosh.
I don't say like, oh, you're gonna have to go to hell. I'm like, I want life to kick your ass now. Like
I want to help life kick your ass.
I want to see karma come back around and you ain't doing nothing with your life and I'm doing everything.
I hope your wife leave you for a midget type of karma. You know what I'm saying? I hope your kids grow up to not be shit type of karma. You know what I'm saying?
But have we not seen that though?
Yeah, we have.
Look at the jocks and the cheerleaders and the famous football players from high school. When we see them years later at reunions and things, they're
I got a better one for you.
Unhappy, working at miserable
jobs. I got a better one for you, Princess. My stepmom's mom is racist. Well, she was racist. God bless her soul. Now she did. She was racist.
Listen, she could possibly be living in Africa
somewhere. Okay, but
in
look,
her
she was so racist that all of her grandkids are mixed.
Oh,
every single grandkid of hers is mixed. My nephew came also mixed.
And again, good. I'm gonna let life and the universe whoop your tail because it's gonna hurt you more than it's hurting me because you're not even gonna know where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? If I punch you right now, boom, you expected it because you called me something crazy. You expected me to act crazy.
Right in the kiss.
But if I be like, oh, okay, it falls gracefully, and next week your car blow up, your house gets shut up, or something like that, like it magically gets blown up. It's the universe.
Gets shot up.
Mm-hmm. You lose your job, you can't afford these. It's the universe. It's not me. That's gonna hit you harder than me punch you in the face right now because you have to deal with this. So that's where for me.
I love throwing hands.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I've never gotten into a fist fight.
I have.
I'm about to head out. Maybe we should play Never Have I Ever.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
I'm just saying because for me, no one has ever.
No one touched you? No one's ever put their hands on me.
No one has ever put their hands on me. Oh. Maybe because they knew better.
It was mine.
Because I'm nice, but my bark is a lot, meaner.
Like a little chihuahua.
Yeah, the people chihuahuas are crazy, bro.
What's up, say less? But I've never even allowed people to get in that type of space to do that to me.
I've only hit people that touch me.
If it's gotten that close, I'm cutting you off before it even gets to that point because I respect myself and I protect my peace enough to not even associate myself or put myself in positions where people like that are gonna ruffle my feathers. Now, I have been in situations to where, I've gotten into arguments or, heated shuffles, but it's never been like a fist to a face or a chokehold or.
All my
and I had a stun gun.
Drunken in bars. In high school and college, I might have gotten
I got in
high school was like I knew how to talk to people, so I never got in that situation. I always had a mutual respect with whoever I was in the room with. So
wow, let me just leave then. I was just gonna make it seem I was just out here fighting people all the time. They touched me.
I've learned from my mom. My mom is a very
your mom is so calm.
She's a silent snapper. Why is this all of a sudden getting loud?
Instagram is doing some wild things.
It is. But my mom, she's a real silent snapper.
On that note,
so
if you don't want to finish watching the show, make sure y'all go to the YouTube. I'm gonna get off of here.
Yeah, because my phone's bumping
the phones are tripping.
But so to all of our listeners, because when you end it, it's gonna end ours. To everyone who is watching, we are not doing any type of segregating or anything like that. We are having discussions of the world needing to change, people being treated equally. I don't want anyone to get offended from these videos of us having these open dialogues. And if you guys have other opinions and other perspectives, we are more than.
If you get offended, this ain't the show for you. I'm just looking at it.
Her views are not. We are more than happy to bring you guys on and have some type of clarity. But our overall message is everyone should be treated equally, and no one should have to fight more for something just because of their color, their their size, their skin, their ethnicity, or what they look like. It should be equal across the board.
These conversations are ongoing.
And that's on baby.
These are ongoing conversations. These are fluid conversations. So just because this show ends, this topic doesn't end. So if you have something to say and you'd like to have what you are thinking said on air, come on the show. We'll pull you up on the show, say what you want. We can reference old conversations all the time. Because I think this conversation should continue all the time. Like,
I agree.
Everybody should always be talking about this. It's the only way things will change, and that's the only way we'll ever.
And all of our viewers, we love all of you guys. I mean, we love everybody, but you know, we're stirring up conversations that should just be had. You know,
except
like
rats.
and
we don't like rats.
Yeah, because they're
There was 3
squirmy.
dead ones
They're
in
gross.
my yard.
That's
I had a little kiddie pools, little inflatable ones, and it was flipped over. But the rain that got it in, it was in like the back corner of my yard, so I wasn't paying attention to it.
Yeah.
So the other day I was going, my wife came in and cleaned the yard. She's like, you know, there's 3 dead rats.
No, she was calm about it?
Yeah.
I would have been
That's
screaming.
gross. I made my son clean it up.
Ew.
Yeah, well,
That's evil.
That's why I got kids, right?
That's
Do gross
bold.
stuff I don't want to do.
That smells.
I bet.
Why would you do this to us? And I was just thinking about dead rats in your yard.
You kept bringing up
Yo, I'm
rats.
scared.
I'm bringing my dog over there because she be killing rats.
Uh-oh.
Well, y'all, this might be the last good time show y'all ever see.
Wait, did we get in trouble?
He probably got calls from the.
And again,
The Juice.
we love everyone equally, okay, guys? There is
You
no
don't
harm
never
or
say
any
call me.
malice in our hearts. Or
While we on the show too, be like, get off the air
Hey, you
immediately.
want to do the positive?
Edit out, edit it out.
All
All right, y'all. It's been real. This is. I didn't even get to record an episode.
I've been on this show for a year, and that's it. It's a wrap.
You made it a year though.
Yeah.
Now we gotta
we'll
go.
be doing a podcast from our basement called
Curtains
After
open,
the
curtains
Good Times. After the Good Times.
No, it's called My Times, the
See, this
Bad
is the problem.
Times.
The man always trying to shut us down.
Yeah, we ain't going nowhere.
See what
You
had
ain't got the
happened.
Lock the door.
You ain't got the answers, Jay.
What had happened was,
Yeah, they definitely gonna take us off the air after this.
Yeah.
That
I
was
might
a
as
good
well
run.
go ahead and use my cuss words
It
now.
was a good run, though. It was cool. It was fun while it lasted.
you thought my
See, we gotta be. This is what happens.
My
when we
dad
try
was
to change
excited I was
things.
getting my own show. Now I'm getting kicked off the network.
Sorry.
You can have me on the show, it just won't be on the radio.
It'll be in Cujo's basement.
She's gonna be blacklisted too.
Right.
Oh, I'm already blacklisted. What you mean? I'm Arab listed.
That's a shame.
Ooh,
No, we didn't tell. We got you in the racial draft. We
I
picked
know,
you up.
right? Well, you guys picked me already. I moved over.
We traded you out for Stacey Dash.
Yes, get rid of Stacy.
Yeah. Did y'all see that TikTok she made?
With the grabbing the.
No. And it
Yeah.
wasn't even
She
on
was doing
beat.
right.
I was like,
She was all the way up here with it.
With her,
How high is your trigger finger?
what
dog?
killed me was the fact that it was too high and it wasn't on
it was
beat.
the lip.
It was like,
She was
like,
trying, though.
yeah, she did try.
I'm
She
like,
did.
damn,
I
there
didn't know
used
she
to be
was
fine. What
suspended, too,
happened?
I didn't either.
She tried now.
She's on so much drugs.
She
No.
was.
She was fine.
Stop.
No, she
they
wasn't.
can see you.
She went to rehab.
Shut up. Forgot they can see you on the radio.
Oh, we going off anyway.
Did you know that I can see you?
All right. Anyway, peace, y'all. We'll
All
see
right.
y'all. Wait, should we,
Bye bye.
y'all want to hear the positive quote? Go over to the YouTube page, man.
Yeah, go to YouTube.
We gotta add some more positive posts in here. We're getting low.
Yeah, we're getting
We're
down.
getting
to
low.
Let me leave some of mine.
I don't know if we should keep that one.
this one.
I don't.
The first portion of it went away.
Can you download it and we repost it at a later date?
Not the
time?
Juice
We
people we
can.
care.
All right, I'm pulling the quote because I think you did it last time.
I did.
Oh, I should have had Shay
Yeah,
do
I'm
it
sharing
since she
that.
was a guest. Put it
Yeah.
on.
I guess.
You'll come back.
One day.
All right.
If we come back.
If we're allowed to come back, we
Let's,
don't even know
let's
after
see if
that
this
call.
quote
we'll find
matches
out.
today.
That's it.
It says,
Your last day on the radio has been great.
Don't let your last day be your last day. Like,
Oh.
listen, it literally says, the bad news.
All right, we're all come on, Cujo. Let's just get out. They want to
no.
escort us out this.
I'm dead.
Your last day
I'm
on the
dead.
radio has been real. Go ahead, just hit us.
I literally could not read anything
I
past
thought
the
I just
bad
heard
news.
somebody coming.
Right.
They coming to get us.
Security.
I was like, is it Shadow?
They coming to get
Hey,
us.
it's Jay. He brought a tailor made.
Yeah,
That's where
we
it's
did.
out.
Okay, it says, the bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Michael Altersher.
And we're taking our plane up out of
This
here.
thing done crashed. This thing done.
This was the
Jesus
pilot show.
And I'm over here like Denzel on flight. If life was a flight, I'm Denzel on that flight. Okay, it is bad, sir.
Yeah.
Bad. I'm Snoop Dogg from Soul Plane. This is really bad.
What, guys?
Oh, we've never been this quiet at 6:39. We've never been this worried about our jobs and careers.
My
Can we
life.
go out there and call him real quick and find out?
Look,
We'll hold it down in
got
here.
people listening. That's
Yeah. Oh my
hilarious.
God, put him on speaker so people really know the truth about the Jewish.
Oh,
He on
man.
Nisa. Oh my God.
That's the deep. You're right.
He on his.
He's a defector.
He's one of them.
Dun,
Dun dun dun. The plot twist. The
Double
plot
agent.
twist.
Like, you messing up my business relationships, man.
He like,
My
oh,
phone must
hold
have
on. He
died.
like, oh, what she say?
I know. I need somebody to check my phone. What is that?
There's one over there.
Oh, does that one work?
It barely is because it's killing mine. I had to shut mine off.
Oh.
Mine worked.
It's
Nice
racist.
charge.
Then maybe yours will work.
Mine
It's
is
racist.
beautifully charged.
No, I don't want it to kill it anymore.
Mine is on
I believe I have
4%.
another charger somewhere.
Yeah.
4%?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then I've been plugged it in from, but I think he did something to it.
Probably. Y'all really have to potty.
Yeah.
But y'all listen, today's show has been
We're gonna take a permanent vacation. We are on what
See
they
you
call
now.
it when the cops do bad stuff? We're on paid leave. We're on
Yeah.
paid leave.
Yeah, something like
We
that.
have
Look out for
resigned.
our new Instagram pages where we're gonna be forced to make. We'll be back.
Sure, I'm about to create my own
We'll be
network
back.
at this point. I have to. We're about to get kicked out of this.
We'll be back. I don't know where.
Can't hold the real one down.
Can
P.O.P.
You'll see
Oh.
the
I'm legally blind.
Princess said she died in jail.
She did.
Who died in jail?
The girl
Who's
who's
that?
in that.
No.
Yeah. I think she got like killed or something. She got like shanked or
They
something.
raped her?
I said killed. I didn't
Oh.
say all of
Did I
that.
ever tell you what I would do if I went to jail?
No, we're not going there today.
We're already getting kicked off
I
air.
know. You
Might as well.
You want to put the icing
You
on
want to
the
just twist the knife.
I swear.
She said, put the dagger in it.
Did I ever tell y'all that last time I was on the radio?
Oh, no.
All right, that's my time for today. Listen, y'all, it
We're
has
about to
been
get kicked
fun.
It's been true.
It's been so
so
freaking real. I think a little too
Yeah,
real.
Let's hear it.
But I am the girl, the princess of all.
I'm Gud Speaks.
And I'm Shay Botto.
Until tomorrow for Throwback Thursday, or Think About It Thursday. Oh, look at me.
Today was Think About It Wednesday.
I know. Ladies, stay pretty.
King stay king.
Bye.
Bye,
And
Alicia.
forever.
Deuces.
Bye, everyone.
Not forever.